Hello everybody, we're back. It's time for the very final episode of Blood and Fog, a Blades in the Dark story. What's happening? Hi, I'm Emily Bates. I'm one of the RP geeks. I use she pronouns and I play the doll, who is perfectly normal and not at all creepy, and anyone who says otherwise is liars. Shamini.
Hello, I am Shamini, one of the RP geeks, and I play Ware, who is like genuinely perfectly normal and not at all creepy. Sure. He's a lovable rogue, and I love him. Holly.
Hello, I'm Holly. I use she/they pronouns, and I'm playing Cuff, who also uses she/they pronouns, who's in trouble at all. They're completely fine-ish.
Totally, no issues.
What about you, Lou?
Hi, I'm Lou. I use they, she pronouns, and I am playing the good doctor who uses they, them pronouns. And they are outside, not really aware of how much danger everyone's in.
Just chilling out. Chilling out.
And finally, Fiona.
Hello everyone, my name is Fiona, I use she, her pronouns, and I was the person that dropped a ship on everyone last week, and I'm so sorry. But it did happen, unfortunately. But yeah, we're back. We're ready for our finale, which I think we're all excited for, me included, see how this ends.
This will be fine. I can't see any issues whatsoever with anything that's going to happen. Okay, do we have any, we don't really have any like,
reason to delay.
it.
Oh,
yeah, we should just
oh,
probably
shit.
begin.
Well,
Do we
no,
not?
we do.
we?
We want to say
great,
congratulations
great.
to Lou.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, let's
for
delay it. Yes, good.
Wedding.
Wedding.
For getting married on Saturday.
Yay, weddings!
There is
Look at
so many
this.
rings. I'm like, but
I'm
which one is
extra
that?
rocks.
Which one am I
Oh
looking
yes,
Also
at?
your
I'll hide all
nails.
of my other
Okay,
rocks.
great. Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
just
cool, cool.
those ones. Yeah.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
yes,
the
I have
nails
fun
as
little,
well.
fun little
Gorgeous
celestial
nails.
nails.
Are gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Oh, Lou, can you send a close-up picture of your nails in our Discord chat? 'Cause I really
Yes.
want to see them.
Yes, I can.
Thanks,
Yes,
that'd
I
be
can.
great. Yeah, please. Yay. Oh, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
So, quick.
It's very hot
how
in
are
the
we
UK
gonna
this week. It might reach
is
29 later in the
What's the-
week.
I
the
heard.
weather? Yes, this is perfect. Yes, isn't it nice that it's sunny?
We love
I
talking
hope
about
it
the
stays
weather.
sunny.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it doesn't stop being
Short
sunny.
sleeves.
Yeah, I've got water. Has everyone got a drink? Because someone in chat has made the blood and fog cocktail that we were talking about, and I forgot about it.
nice
but
work.
I want one.
Amazing.
I've got some liquor 43, which you can get from Spain, in my D&D glass. Gifted hashtag, I guess.
That was the hashtag
So liquor 43 is my favourite liqueur. It's like a vanilla-y liqueur, and it's really
Ooh.
tasty.
Sorry, I'm
try
looking
some
this
next
up.
time I come to
Liquor
your house.
43.
Yeah, and I always get it if I ever come like through Spain for work or anything. I always try and grab a bottle because you can't get it in the UK as far as I can tell without paying like crazy import fees and things. So yeah, liquor
Blood,
43.
oranges, and mezcal. Oh man.
Bailey's in a goblet.
Oh, Bailey's in a goblet. Yes, Shamini. That's what we want to see.
I just got Diet Pepsi. It's nowhere near as fun.
That's also
I've got
great.
water.
Yeah.
Hydrated.
Fiona,
There
what
is
have you
somebody
got?
here keeping actually hydrated. That's lovely.
So I have two drinks because I always have to have a hot and cold drink at all points. So I've got
Yes.
a Dr. Pepper in my sort of metal thing with some ice in it. But then I've also got my tea, which I think I've spoken about it before, where I buy loose leaf tea from something called the Tea Market, and I just made myself a little pint of I think it's KC Dynasty, which is like a fruit blend, which is so caffeinated that I can't have it all at once. I have to take my time, otherwise it's like having spark. I'm like woohoo, and lots of bad things happen as a result.
This all sounds lovely and wholesome. Fiona, maybe
No,
we
we
should
don't need to
take it
go
away
there.
from the
Oh
wholesome.
no.
I feel like bad things happen as a result is the perfect segue into
Yeah.
so Blood and
So
Fog.
where were we?
Where were we?
I think
Well,
we were just like maybe holding hands all together
I
in
think
a
we were
flowery
having a really
field.
chill time.
There was a picnic, I think. I remember the picnic.
It was
Yeah.
sunny. It was a lovely
Yeah,
day.
well, I've got to put my glasses on for this because unfortunately
Oh
I'm
shit.
still out of
does that
contacts.
mean?
So I have to read this out.
I thought it was like
Greetings.
a crazy DM thing.
Oh yeah, this frighten your players. Big Fiona DM tip: put on glasses. That's exactly it, so you can read all the notes. Anyway, greetings, scoundrels from across the Imperium and beyond the Void Sea, and welcome to this finale of Blood and Fog, the RP Geeks Blades in the Dark series. As always, we have two things just up top to those who are following along at home. Firstly, this is the big one, whilst we are playing Blades in the Dark, we're going to be using the recently released Deep Cuts version 1.1 supplement for the number of the dice rolls in this game, including replacing the main dice mechanic with the threat roll. I'll explain these mechanics as we get to them, but I want to mention them here just in case you're wondering why we are doing certain things that aren't typically traditional Blades in the Dark. This system is new to all of us, and this Deep Cut sort of streamlines a lot of it for us, which is perfect for us who are learning the game, but also for you people watching along at home. So do bear with us if we just need to clarify or check rules as we're still learning as we go. And maybe we're going to check a few more rules and stuff as we go, because it feels kind of important for the finale, and I want to make sure we do stuff justified when we get there. Secondly, Blades in the Dark by John Harper is a game of a group of daring scoundrels building a criminal enterprise on the haunted streets of an industrial fantasy city. There will be heists, chase, escapes, dangerous bargains, bloody skirmishes, deception, betrayals, victories, and of course, well, deaths perhaps? We'll see. We're going to play to find out if this fledgling crew, our Harriers, can thrive amidst the teeming threats of rival gangs, powerful noble families, vengeful ghosts, the Bluecoats of the City Watch, and the siren song of their own vices. Or maybe even a weird entity known as the Strangers coming through and infiltrating their particular world. Naturally, our world, our story is going to be very grim, And Duskvol itself is a very cruel place set in perpetual darkness. Again, maybe feels very similar to some of the darkness that we are seeing here in our world just now. So I'm giving you, the lurks, the leeches, and the lurchers out there, permission to take a break from our story should you need to. As I always say, you are more important than the dice rolls on the table or the devil's bargains that we offer to each other. So, Harriers, are we ready to begin? Final session of Blood and
Not
Fog.
really.
Oh well, then we won't go.
Oh
then.
yeah, if Lou's not ready,
we're
then
not,
we'll
we're not ready.
cancel
We'll wait.
it.
We'll
Sorry
wait.
everyone watching, we're gonna call it.
Should we just go get some cake? Or just
I think it's a great
have a
idea.
nice
Yeah.
Yeah, be fine.
It's a good idea.
Let's start with our opening ritual, as always, to start the session. Our opening titles. So again, if you just joining us for the finale, first of all, where have you been?
Yeah.
Second of all, let's do it again. So basically, it's like the opening titles for our story is like a vintage TV show. We're going to do a montage sequence of various characters, places, and moments that are important to the show. So starting with each player, beginning with Emily, then Lou, then Shamini, then Holly, we're going to take turns to describe a brief scene, a single sort of camera shot where we see our scoundrel in a quintessential moment doing something that we're typically doing or something that is relevant that they think is going to be for the story. As a GM, I'm going to take turns in between each player and describe a moment of the wider world of Duskvol. And these might be little moments of a local district, a glimpse at a allied or antagonistic faction, or anything else in between, that sort of contrast thing there. So, I'll start, and then Emily will go next. Let's begin. The smog starts to fill the air and the screen around it, and it gets thicker and thicker until suddenly it almost bursts through the screen of the people watching. We see, actually, it comes through like a frame, like a picture frame that's been burnt as a fire has started to spread throughout this building, which is sort of toppled and broken. We see people helping each other out of the rubble as the debris of White Crown itself, what remains of the Lord Governor's stronghold, as the Covenant ship had crashed and burned, pulling down its mooring, going straight on top of the Governor's stronghold building. You can see people screaming and shouting, trying to grab coats and hats, all the things you're not supposed to do in an emergency, as they see fire falling down from the sky, bits of paper like embers on the wind, as a whole sight greets them, seeing Duskvol, almost like Pompeii, just on fire with bits of debris flying through the air. Emily.
As we move to the basement where the doll and Cuff were, the doll looks up towards Cuff and just winks. And as they reopen their eye, both of their eyes turn white, and you start to hear the flutter of wings as hundreds of pigeons crash through a vent and start swirling around the basement.
The swirling, the sort of like as these pigeons start to go in and like filling the air with feathers and bird poo and all horrible things. We see this sort of shift turn and we move towards the Duskvol Academy, an academic institution also near White Crown, I believe. But we see glass breaking as just the sheer force of the impact of this debris. We see chemistry labs breaking apart, the chemicals burning through these beakers and stuff like that, as just a whole sort of sonic boom breaking all this, and again you start to see fires and gas from various bits and pieces starting to light the walls. Another institution being grasped by this event. Lou, please.
We come to the outside of the building where the doctor has been left all alone. They have had to jump back as this cloud of pigeons has gone past, kind of knocking them flat against the wall. And as the we zoom in on the doctor's eyes, where you can see the reflections of the fire falling from the sky in their pupils, and then you just see them turn and look at the hole that has been left in the wall, and a question kind of flashes across their face when they can see there is now a way in.
we sort of see the Doctor seeing this hole, sort of pull back the camera to see the hole, and then it sort of turns and we see a porthole, actually, which moves sort of out to see a wrecked Leviathan ship known as Tangletown, a sort of semi-permanent boat community which is sort of taken back and reclaimed, one of the sort of disused places. You can see people desperately trying to get to the emergency dinghies and putting out as people are turning back, and they see a tsunami of dirty water starting to fill these canals as bits of the Imperial ship start to clatter into the water, throwing these waves. A man throws off the things and pushes things out, turns around and is hit with the full force of the tsunami, breaking the Tangletown sort of ship apart, breaking these housing communities apart. Shamini.
Side of the building, in a sort of dusty, empty space above the basement, where the doll and Cuff and a huge number of people are, where piers between and a huge number of pigeons are, thank you, Emily, where piers at a crack in the floorboards, looking around, sees the figures standing in the room, looks concerned, sees a large number of pigeons swirling around, looks confused but still concerned, and then glimpses the face of Lord Skurlock standing at the head of them all. His eyes widen and he turns to look at the way he came in, the potential exit. And as he looks up at the skylight, which is of course closed, he gets a glimpse of the smoke and embers that fill the sky.
We sort of push up through that sort of skylight, going to the embers, going towards the Silkshore district, your hunting ground, Harriers. And we see, whilst the frivolity was continuing quite late into the night, there is, and maybe I've mentioned these before, the spark grounds. There are acrobats that are using sort of metal-lined kites to skirt the lightning wall as a sort of a big spectacle performance of people sort of cheering and stuff. Seeing this big explosion, people are turning back and then looking and seeing the lightning wall itself start to falter. We have an acrobat sort of going up, up, and up, going on one big spring, and suddenly the lightning wall that they are on disappears, and they fall, and the lightning ball reappears with the acrobat outside into the Deadlands itself, gone, missing. Holly.
I think from that, the chaos of that movement, the camera gets clouded by feathers, and for a moment, instead of all of this kind of darkness and rubble, it feels for a moment like we're in a kind of dreamland of just feathers and softness. And you see Cuff's face just kind of framed by all of these feathers, as they realize what their friend really has done for them. And the camera watches as like that smile turns into a snarl, and Cuff goes to bite the arm of the person who is holding them and guiding them to the platform, and takes this as their moment to run through the cuff-shaped hole in the wall that they made coming in, under the cover of pigeon feathers.
Deus ex pigeoner, yes.
Hey, it was set up in previous episodes that I had weird pigeons.
No. I love it. As we follow Cuff out through the cuff-shaped hole, we go, again, swirls around. We see an old opera house in 6 towers, the Arms of the Weeping Lady, cracked and break down. Originally a soup kitchen, you can see suddenly the doors are flung open and people are calling to get people in, to shelter themselves from the flying debris. And again, having a good look out, seeing the devastation that is affecting the other districts. 6 towers a little bit further back from the docks. People are starting to rush in and the doors are suddenly shut closed. People are quiet. You hear crying from various individuals, some injuries being attended to. And quite close to them, you see the form of Lydra, who's sort of like stood thinking, I clearly was on the way somewhere and is now sort of very silently looking around, and someone sort of takes her hand and says, "Oh, you look injured," and points to the wrap of where their thing was, and they just mutely sort of nod, and as they're sort of taken in, they sort of look out, seeing that their priority is a little bit elsewhere. And as we follow this person's gaze, we sort of go up again. This time, the same view of Duskvol we've always seen at the end of each opening credits, but this time, fire, burning, buildings broken and toppled. And from the flames, the main titles fade into view in red and grey fog over this picture. And it says, Blood and Fog, A Blades in the Dark Story. Chapter 6. At Death's Door.
Oh, very good. That's very good. That's very good. A little round of applause for that. Also, can I just say, I love these openings because it means we don't have to roll for weird shit. I'm just going to...
I feel like, and then this just happened.
No dice rolls in
summon
the
some
opening
pigeons,
credits.
Cuff bites someone and no one's rolling. And anyway, I appreciate it. Thank you, Fiona. Good storytelling. Lovely.
All good. I like the idea, like, pigeon, pigeon. It's like, dove, dove. Like, from...
It's like...
I can't remember what it's from now. Arrested Development, I think.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
It's an illusion.
Illusion. It was 20 minutes past the hour of flame on the 37th day of Vol Nivet, in the year of our immortal emperor, 845 AC. That's after Cataclysm. When a sudden explosion rocked and crumpled the Imperium airship, the Covenant, from its mooring above Duskvol's White Crown district, and sent it toppling and plummeting down on the haunted city below. The sounds of screams and cries filled the air as many residents desperately tried to outrun the debris and metal falling from the sky around them. Because what can one do when the Emperor's ceiling caves in on top of you? And where are our Harriers in all of this? Why, they are in the thick of it, of course. They hate missing out on the action, don't they? What's that saying? Out of the frying pan and, yes, into the fire.
Into the door. Sorry.
Let's recall how we got to this point in our tale, shall we? After the nasty business of dealing with Roderick, our crew had been making good headway in selling Spark, their product. In particular, they'd not only got better at pitching their wares to people, but had also increased their clientele to include folks currently serving time at Iron Hook Prison, due to some good rapport with the Bluecoats there, and that's pretty much thanks to Ware's good behaviour when they were spending time there. The Doctor's research on Spark itself is very close to completion. Whilst they were busy patching up members of their team from their various injuries, they sent Ware out to do some light field research regarding the social norms and maybe the short-term logistics and implications of taking Spark. The results that came back were, well, most intriguing. Spark itself seems not to be necessarily dangerous or even lethal in the short term if one was to imbibe a little too much. We've described it to be akin to sort of almost taking like an energy shot or an energy drink. It revitalizes those who take it and perhaps lowers inhibitions whilst they enjoy themselves doing various physical activities. If anything, that slight electroplasmic tang, even in a few drops, tingles the taste buds, allowing the taker to feel alive and connected with their emotions. Now, the downsides we've discovered, there is a sort of a addictive quality to the drug itself, and also an increase in extreme mood, extreme selfishness, and an unwillingness to share to the point of stubbornness. Meanwhile, though, whilst out running errands on Lydra's behalf, our Cuff was cornered by a member of the Blackcoats, and, coerced, I think is a good word for this, into having a coffee meeting with one Major Rowan, an Imperial military special investigator, and, well, a high-ranking Blackcoat himself. During their meeting, Major Rowan formally requested the Harriers' assistance in tracking down some strangers who had recently come through one of these unusual fractures, colloquially known as doors, which have been popping up throughout the city. Rowan explained that such fractures had actually been appearing across all the Imperium over the last 6 months, and felt certain that the disappearance of many Duskvol citizens and residents were connected to them in some way, or yet how it had to be proven. There seemed to be a connection, certainly, with our rival gang, the Branch Twins, Laurent and Layella, in terms of where they were getting their illicit product of phonograph discs from. A manifest or two given to Cuff indicated several occurrences of these doors appearing, often on the same streets and roughly at the same times, but notably the frequency of such doors was increasing and the pattern was repeating. It seems that, well, people and products could go through and maybe back out of these fractures, but other than that, no one knew what is on the other side and whether or not what goes through is necessarily the same thing that comes back. 3 nights ago, one such fracture appeared high over the docks, and 5 individuals were seen to have tumbled their way out of it through the air into the dirty water below. One of these so-called strangers drowned in the harbour, and their body had been recovered by a local docker who has since been taken away and is currently being questioned by the spirit wardens. This discovered body was then held, or is still being held, in the morgue at the local Bluecoats station, awaiting a formal examination. The appearance of such doors had been explained away to the ink rates and curious residents as a sort of lightning barrier test, general maintenance going on, thus giving our Harriers a chance to investigate further and to maybe get ahead before anyone else suspects there is a problem. Major Rowan's request is as follows. Find the remaining strangers or evidence of where they are, and bring them to Major Rowan alive for questioning. And if they're successful, well, Cuff's old black coat record, along with some incriminating evidence of the doll's treasonous messages out to her connections in Tychoros, would be wiped from the records. They would be left in peace to continue their little business of selling drugs to adults. The Harriers, as is their wont, decided to split up and gather information. The doll and Cuff went to the docks, and through the doll's attunement, discovered the events that had happened that night as attuning to the ghost field. Nothing necessarily different from the other eyewitnesses' accounts that they'd already heard, save that the drowned body was dressed rather peculiarly, and what had looked like a thin, rectangular plastic box with them. It had buttons and a small crystal embedded in the actual top of it. Using this information, the doctor went to the Bluecoats station under the guise of performing an autopsy, and despite some snide mutterings of suspicion, they managed to get both the dead person's unusual clothing and items, which included the plastic box and some daisy flower sunglasses. And rather gruesomely, the doctor also took one of the stranger's eyes, a sort of black orb, which had been hidden behind the set of plastic prosthetic lenses, similar to the ones worn by, well, a stranger who made a house call impersonating Roderick's body. What we can conclude from this is that the strangers, when they are in possession of the body, transform it and corrupt it in some way to fit themselves. But perhaps more eerily, the strangers do not need eyes to see. And Ware was doing what is becoming his favourite pastime, which is dumpster diving, through a few fabric bins near the docks, and managed to uncover a whole host of very odd clothing, indicating that strangers who are coming through these fractures change outfits quickly to avoid detection and to blend in with the other citizens of Duskvol. After a quick discussion, the Harriers decided the best way was to locate another one of these fractures, courtesy of the information forced out of the Branch Twins, and have someone infiltrate any group which came through, and just follow them to see where they were heading. And indeed, they did just that. Well, the doll was spotted by one of the individuals and then had to play along with their questions and forcing them to commit to a role, and eventually going inside a warehouse in the dock district, being separated from everyone else. Cuff's anxiety got the better of them, and they noisily broke into this warehouse, where Ware made a sneaky entrance through an automatically locking skylight, leaving the doctor outside. Meanwhile, the doll was shepherded into a cavernous basement where they discovered a whole host of similarly strange individuals. It would seem that these are the missing people from the last 6 months, those missing posters we'd seen around town. It seems that they've been slowly but surely coming back through these doors, changed, corrupted. And after a few minutes of silence, Lord Skurlock took to the stage and spoke about how their time was almost nigh, and how their plan to take this world as their own was nearly at hand. They were just waiting on one or two small pieces, one or two individuals. He ended his speech by signalling a pledge with one hand over his heart and saying the phrase, for blue time, which was echoed around the room. Stage right, Cuff enters, and the noisiness of the entrance broke through the silence, and the scene has now entered entire chaos, as Skurlock commanded the strangers to grab them and proceed to advance with the plan by firing the signal. We then, as players, saw both Lydra and Pedra, two friends of the Harriers, but who knows if they have different allegiances or motives now, make their way to the centre of the city, ending the last session with Pedra aiming her parasol at the Covenant ship above and pressing the detonation button on the handle. It is now 21 minutes past the hour of flame, on the 37th day of Volsyned, in the year of our immortal emperor, 845 AC. War has been declared by the strangers on the Imperium and the Immortal Emperor's Unity agenda. And Duskvol is right slap in the middle of it all. So, we see pigeons everywhere. The flurry of feathers and stuff. You have a moment for those people who are inside the warehouse to do something. We have obviously described holes appearing where you get people to go in. What are we doing? You have a moment.
I think I am going to get out. So in this kind of opening, I'm going to just try and run outside, see if I can. The last time I saw the Doctor and Ware was out there before I, filled with panic, decided to bust my way through. So I think I'm going to try and reconnect with them.
Through the pigeonhole.
Through the pigeonhole!
Hey.
Are you trying to find the doll in this?
I trust that the doll, the look that the doll gave me with the wink makes me feel like they know what they're doing. I trust her to get out. And yeah, I think she's in control. So and she could clearly see that I was not. So I think I'm going to take her leadership there and trust that she'll do her own thing.
That sounds good. I think what I'd like to, I'm guessing my big question to you is, like, obviously you're using this distraction. Are you trying to stealth your way out? Or are you just using the noise to go? Are you, like, how are you getting out? What's your sort of?
I'm just vaulting it, I think.
Vaulting
I
it.
think
Okay.
I'm hoping that because the feathers seem so thick, that I'm just hoping that if I just at that point just suddenly free, I'm not going to try and stealth. I'm just going to try and make a beeline and hope that nobody can stop me, basically.
Above table,
Okay.
can you try and grab one of the strangers on your way out?
Oh.
Ooh,
Take
okay.
someone with you.
Because I won't have a chance
a
at doing that.
small
But I
one.
think if we can grab
Yes.
one, then yeah.
That's a really good point. Okay, above table.
Nab a little
I love
one.
it.
A little one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's okay. So as I'm running, I'm going to be thinking, oh, Cuff, you're useless. You're so useless, Cuff. You've really messed this up. What would the doll do? And I'm going to imagine hearing in my confusion and chaos and panic the soft sound of the voice of the doll telling me, remember the mission. We've got to get some evidence. And I'm going to look around to see if there is a small one of these figures that I can yank and drag with me.
Yeah,
Remember
I think
the
again,
mission. We've got to get some evidence.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the voice.
there's definitely chaos happening, and so yeah, if we, you can see these people are like again, because the surprise attack of pigeons. Again, I was thinking like, go, I choose you, pigeon, and they just sort of like molt around everywhere. Yeah, so they're sort of, some of them like are crouching down. Actually, all of them seem to be like backing away a little bit, so they're all sort of off guard. Yeah, you can. There's definitely like shorter ones as you sort of like you bit someone's hand, admittedly. So that's like one that's closest to you. It looks to be like a sort of an individual wearing sort of like dock workers like outfit. Per se, and a flat cap, but yeah, not everyone has taken off their lenses at this point because they obviously use them to sort of like hide, but when they're together, they do not. So yeah, there's that individual there. If you wish to take them with them, they're not. I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to be willing. So it feels to me like you're going to make a sort of skirmish roll to sort of grab them and pull them up with
Would
you.
I make a skirmish roll? Yes, I would.
Of course you would.
I would love to punch this guy in the head and try and drag him with me while he's trying to recover from his punch in the head.
That sounds like a plan. Grab your stuff that you'll need for that. It's a risky standard because you've got the sort of pigeons over you. If you fail, so if you get a 1 to 3, I'm going to say that you don't grab the individual. They will scream and say something along the lines of this person's trying to escape, get them, and be able to pinpoint where you are going forward. So that is the consequence of you failing. Is there anything you'd like to do to like maybe increase your dice pool or any weapons, any equipment or anything like that?
Oh, that's a good point. Let me just check my loadout and how that was going, because I did have that very extensive piece of like spike net with me. Let me just see how much I've got left.
Yeah, you used that last time. Yeah,
did use that. Okay, that's only one. That was only one because I went indiscreet. Okay, I think what I'll do is, I've got my knuckle dusters on, obviously. I wouldn't go anywhere without them. And I'm gonna go for their mouth as well, just so that if they do try and shout about it, maybe they'll find it more difficult to speak loudly or to get their enunciation going. So I've got my knuckle dusters. Okay.
I think that's it. Yeah. So like you'll add a dice pool for that because you're using that. I'm going to say like the pigeons will give you a greater effect for basically for running away and stuff like that, but you're trying to grab someone and take them with you. So that's the thing. So yeah, if you fail, that you will not take them with you, and they will shout that you are escaping, sort of blowing cover. So yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, I've got 3 dice, 2 for my skill skirmish and 1 for the knuckle dusters. And I feel like as Cuff does this, Cuff has been kind of thinking, come on, just one punch. You're so good at this. You've been punching so badly recently. Just one to save your life.
Punch.
Come on, here we go.
Don't manifest ones, Holly.
6
punch. Here we go.
Is it a 6?
Oh.
It's a 6.
There's a 6 in there.
Yay!
Amazing.
Cuff.
That's
Cuff.
2 sixes,
Cuff.
right?
Cuff.
That's 2 threes.
Yeah.
Two threes, 2 threes and
That's
6.
basically 2 6s, Fiona. Fiona?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, my bad. With a 6, you describe how you take this person with you. Like, describe the things you have absolutely succeeded at this point.
Okay.
And, the pigeons mask your escape for this person.
So I've just bitten this person's arm and I'm surrounded by feathers and everything's just felt kind of like dreamlike, childlike, just lovely, warm, comforting for a moment. And it's the thing that really builds Cuff's confidence, actually, is feeling okay and feeling safe. And because of that, she feels able to really just like relax her arm as she really just socks this figure in the jaw. And she feels not only the connect of her hand, but also the scratch of the knuckle duster along this figure's jaw. And as they do this, they are going to literally take the dislocated jaw of this figure and pull them from the jaw after them. So they don't even have the power to pull back at all. They're just going to have to go along as the pain's doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you grab them and you pull, and they sort of go along with you. They can't say anything because you've got your hand enough and you're like, with me.
In fact, you know what? I've got my thumb under their chin and my 4 fingers in their mouth as I'm pulling them along.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you manage to grab up. You run up the stairs of where you came, and you see the whole. I mean, last time we described it as like you were opening a door, wrenching. But yeah, I did. You did that, and you were so cross you did go through a wall because for reasons who knows, you're super strong anyway. So yeah, you have a way to get out. And presumably, where you're still around here, aren't you? Do you do anything?
I'm above, right? So I'm not in the same room as them.
I thought you were.
So you're not. You were sort of one up, but you can hear like. The way I'm imagining it is that we've got the basement sort of area. You're on what is essentially their ceiling, but the floor above. Yeah. And so Cuff would have come up with this other person to roughly where you are. There's maybe a few walls and maybe some things in the way.
Right, yeah,
yes, that's what I'm imagining. So you would have heard them come up. You probably would have seen, for ease sake, you would have seen the pigeons and then Cuff disappearing. So
the pigeons went past me, basically.
Yeah.
I was like,
exactly. Oh gosh, yes, exactly.
Pigeons. Where is like sort of backing off from this like a crack in the floor looking down, suddenly sort of Cuff appears, and I think Where, who's been very much like, am I allowed to run away? Like, the doctor isn't here to tell me not to. I could seize Cuff and was going to take the opportunity to be like, yeah, we should go. And then, yeah, I'm allowed to leave. Great. I'm going to run for the pigeonhole.
Oh, Fiona, we
Fiona,
can't hear
we've
you.
lost you.
There you go. You move across, and you see where this hole is, and you carry on going essentially. And so you are out with Cuff, who looks a little bit worse for it. Okay, maybe a few superficial scratches and stuff from the pigeons, and covered in feathers, and also this individual who they've still got like grasped. Like I said, they're sort of like an individual that's wearing sort of like Docker's outfit with a flat cap. Their eye is completely black, and they're sort of like not doing anything. They're just sort of like again, sort of unsure of what is happening, and also maybe a bit unsure of their body as well. They're sort of like looking around, like scared at this sort of forceful presence. Doctor, are you doing anything before I head over to?
Do we bump into the doctor as we're like coming out
I
of
was
the
gonna
pigeonhole?
say I felt like I was kind of had sort of just about made my mind up like maybe I should go in this freaking pigeonhole. I've got no idea what's going on. It sounds like they're screaming. What if it's them screaming? Like, do I care? Do I? And just sort of and then whoever comes out of the hole first, I think. The doctor's obviously not expecting it, and they're just going to grab whichever person that is and kind of slam them against the wall. Who is it?
Me.
Oh, for God's sake!
Because there's pigeons. We should a tactical retreat.
This appears to be something of a speciality of ours. I assumed the pigeons were us, though. I assumed that Primula is doing something unusual.
I'm gonna look over to
I think at that moment, very casually walking out of the hole, the doll just sort of walks out, and her eyes still have these sort of like this white tint of like feathers like swirling in them, and they just suddenly go back to black, and you just hear dum 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 inside as all the pigeons just fall to the floor, and she turns and goes, "Yes, we should leave."
Oh,
all right. I've got one.
Go.
Let's go.
Go.
Okay, so where are you guys going? Like
That is such a good question,
It's a great
Fiona.
question, Fiona.
I would love to know.
My gut instinct
Yeah.
is to run back to the coffee shop or like that area. I feel like if the commander has made it out, I mean I can't find them on their massive ship anymore. That's where my brain would go of like, well, I'll just meet them the last place I saw them. And bring this thing with us because we need to explain what's going on. This is so much bigger than just those 6 people.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Coffee shop sounds like a good one to me.
I'd
say. I mean, back to our place feels like a bad idea.
I mean,
so
I would say. Sorry, you finish.
No, I was just gonna say so. Like anywhere but there. I mean, there's nothing we can really do in the immediate future that will forward our aims, right? I mean, I still don't know what's gone on in there.
Sky looked like it was a bit on fire.
Right.
I think our aims. I'm not so bothered about our aims right now.
I
More
think
the
we
running,
exactly
running
keep
away.
this
if
one
we
that
can't
we've
further.
caught, go hide somewhere, and then
Yeah.
get to this stranger person to
running,
to
hiding
arm this dude again. Yeah.
away from fire and
Yes.
creepy people.
So yes, what I'm going to say, yeah. So like you can make it back to the coffee shop. Well, I'm definitely going to ask for a roll or something because of literally the world is on fire. This big sort of ship. People are running, screaming for the docks.
Right.
So
are
whether
we.
or not it's going to
We're
take.
We're doing a great role, Fiona.
Yeah.
I didn't say you weren't doing a good job, but it's more. I think it's like you're keeping a hold on someone who does not want to be with you guys, and it's clearly like again is struggling a little bit against the cuff. It's, it's in pain, but it's like sort of keeping an eye on that person, but also keeping yourself safe because again with Bluecoats, maybe spirit wardens about as well. They're looking for any sign of trouble. Okay, so I guess my question to you guys is, who is leading the charge to get back to this coffee shop?
Bagsy, not me.
Not me, but can I help by pulling out some handcuffs and handcuffing the person?
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Beautiful
Mark that
stuff.
on your
Then.
Yeah.
mark that on your thing. So yes, so they you sort of grab their hands and interesting question. Do you put the hands in front or
No,
behind
behind,
them?
I think.
Okay.
Because then
Good.
I can
Why?
just...
Yeah, I thought about anesthetizing them when they got outside, but turning them into a dead weight probably isn't very helpful, is it, when you're fleeing?
So you handcuff their hands behind their back, easy enough. So they are the sort of chance of that you getting through is succeeded a little bit more. Sorry, it's increased a little bit more because if they do try to escape, they're not going to get very far and they don't have use of their hands. Sounds good. I think for this, again, did anyone wanted to take the charge on like guiding people back to the coffee shop? I know, like,
I do
obviously,
feel like
Covey,
it would probably be me because I know where it is.
you do know
Yeah,
where it
I
is, but
think
like
it'd be
you would have all
Just
again. It's in the
anyone
local
with-
area where you guys are, to be honest with you, because it's 6 towers adjacent, which you will have all been
Sure.
to various coffee shops and stuff. Like
Yeah.
where, for example, we'll have at least good 4 or 5 coffee shops where would advise you to go. You know,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a
Depends
good
whether you're
point.
going for brownies, croissants, or like actual hot drinks. This is very variable in quality.
Right.
The one with the
That does make
darkest
sense.
windows.
Yes.
It's not usually a factor. Okay.
But you would know.
Okay, I'm just gonna like pick one, and I'm gonna pretend it's because I remember that they have dark windows. It's not. I'm thinking about the croissants, pain au chocolat, and then we're gonna go there.
you do your mind palace essentially, like
Yeah.
with all these cool bits. What I will say, I think if you're taking the charge, where I think it's not really, you know where this place is, that's not a problem. I think you're getting their people there safely, and what that means is you're going skillfully and most importantly quietly, which I think is your expertise, right?
Yes, that's me.
Wow.
Somehow it's
Fiona.
Ware's thing.
Fiona,
Yeah,
thank you.
no idea how.
You were like, I am the
I'm
knight.
so good at it. I am the
You are.
knight.
You are the knight. So I'd love for you to make for me a prowl roll for us, please. I'm going to give you an extra die because people are helping. Cover's probably helping you get there. We've got the enhanced effect of the person being handcuffed as well. So if it should go wrong, they're not going to escape. You've got them. The consequence is that if you fail badly on this roll, it's still a standard risky. Is that the spirit wardens are out in force right now. And if they see you guys about, they will come and get you. That is it. So if you get a 1 to 3, that is the failure on that task. How many dice have you got?
I've got 3. I've got a cloak, but the cloak is only good for me, so I'm not sure it'll be terribly useful on this roll.
So is that 3 including the help dice? Or-
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Can you
with-
roll
with
and
the
then
three-
decide whether to add another one? No.
So
You can push yourself.
always
Push,
you
yeah.
can push yourself, which will mean that you'll take stress on, but reduce the consequences of things. So you might, for example, in that situation, if you got 1 to 3, you're like, oh, I will push myself, and it's because you throw people into an alleyway, and you get more stress as a result of that. But you don't.
I'll
take the
stick with my.
Give it
Be
a
a
go.
3.
Three's
See where we
good.
go. Yeah, 3 is good.
Lucky number 3.
Whew, got 6 there.
Yeah.
Oh, nice work, nice work. So yes, look at that.
Oh my God,
Oh well, there's some
Yeah.
ones in there. I saw.
Oh, don't look at those.
This
Don't
Blades
look
in
at
the
that
Dark
one.
show, sponsored
One's
by
and
D&D
twos.
today, apparently. Yeah.
Oh.
Look, it rolled well for me. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Thank you,
I'm not
wizards.
gonna complain.
Thank you, wizards.
So, excuse me. So yes, you take your time, and it does take about, I'd say, like an hour or so. So we're getting into the weeds of the early morning, but you are in a war zone. There is debris everywhere. You can see people, again, like screeching out the way. You can see various Bluecoats, inspectors, and definitely you hear the ominous bell of a spirit warden who is coming to collect those who have, died off screen, not from your own actions. Are being collected, and I think the key thing that certainly you would notice, where as you're sort of making your way, again, there's a mixture of like being on the ground, maybe into the sewers a little bit, and then up onto the rooftops, sort of back and forth, is that when you're up on the rooftop and you look across and you see these lightning barriers, the barriers that keep you safe within Duskvol, they are flickering. They're almost like a bull about to go
I
out.
don't like that at all. I don't like that at all.
You know that these barriers keep the outside, the Deathlands, from out.
Yes.
If they fail,
Yes.
worse than the ship falling down, the whole of Duskvol will be at the mercy of the ghosts from the Deathlands.
Why are they
You can see-
flickering? What's the ship got to do with that? The lightning barriers just work. They just work. Does anyone know how they work? Why have they stopped working?
They use demon blood.
They use deep right. Well, are they running out of demon blood or something? What's that like?
Oh, I don't know.
You make it to the coffee shop, which, tell you what, let me get you a name of the coffee shop. Because, yeah, no worries. Happy to help. You are going to go to copy name generator. Let's Google
Coffee
that.
name
Generator.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not
The
use one with
latte
AI.
laughs.
Oh, how about this one? The Busy Bean Room. I quite like that.
Oh,
I like it.
Busy bee.
It's so cozy.
How
and
quaint.
wholesome.
Yes.
How
Makes me
quaint.
feel good about the world, and that's why I think we should go there.
It's got like a little like coffee bean that's got like a cartoon face. It's like, hi, you know, like come on in. But currently it is known for its dark windows and as you and pain au chocolats. You sort of open, easily maneuver yourselves into this place with that 6 by passing any locks or something like that, and you shut the door, and that silence, a relief. Away from the screams, away from the sound and the smell of fire. Like, it's still close by. You're not fully out of it. But, like, for now, you can regroup the thoughts. And most importantly, you've got a new friend with you, who I assume is a mixture of handcuffed behind their back, but also has been pulled this whole way, unless you tell me otherwise, by the jaw around.
I feel
What do you
like
guys
I would have stopped pulling them by their jaw at a point. But if at any point they were looking like they were going to cause trouble or tugging in another direction, I'd have just given them just a cheeky chin tug to remind them of their situation.
Yeah.
I want to start getting information out of this person about what on earth they are, what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. You maybe sit them down on one of those awful sort of like very rickety chairs, and the rest of you, again, you have full like ability to jump in with the questioning or check something out. But for now, it feels like you are secure in the place you are. And this individual, again, the sort of the doctor's uniform, is sort of looking around, looking a little bit scared, like moving their jaw a little bit, and looks sort of blankly at the 4 of you, sort of waiting for something to happen.
Who are you?
Who are you?
We're your
My
new
name's Cuff.
friends.
Don't tell them your name.
It's not my real name.
What?
Her real name's
What?
My name's Cuff.
My name's Cuff.
All right. Does it hurt when I dislocate your jaw?
Hurt.
Rain.
Yeah, does it? Or do you want a reminder?
My name's Cuff.
All right, I'm going to slam their head against the table.
All right, make for me a rec roll.
Are there people working in the coffee shop?
It's late at night and you've broken in. I'm going to say no.
great, sorry, yes.
Unless you go and have a look.
Just...
It's a weird. There's like a you know what?
There's a
yes,
lot
there
of-
is. There's a barista who's just sort of like going like, what the actual fuck?
I'll just walk over and go, hello. We're going to need the room for a little bit. I don't know if you've seen outside. Everything's on fire. You should probably go home. And can I give them a coin?
Oh my god! They sort of look at you and go, I was never here.
Goodbye.
and like gives you the keys to lock up and leaves.
We'll do that. Thank you. And I just pocket them.
Absolutely.
When they vacate, the doctor's gonna go to the coffee machine and just tap it on.
Make some coffee
Tap it
for
on.
everyone. Lovely.
Gonna make a
Yeah,
coffee.
We'll leave
Click
Cuff to
around.
everything.
It's not like it's one of those machines which is like a manual espresso machine, so you have to do all the work, and clearly it's one of those artisan places. You know, the Busy Bean is probably known for it because they've got all these beans that you have to press yourself. So you're more than welcome, Doctor, to make your own espresso whilst for the team whilst waiting. It's not an automatic process, so is what I would say.
Never said the team.
You create the perfect espresso just for you. Going back to Cuff, sorry.
Gonna do this rec roll.
Rec roll.
Just the one dice.
If
roll.
you fail, I have to say these are consequences. You will knock this person out, and they will not give you any information.
Okay.
Oh, is there anything I can do?
Ooh.
No, I'm gonna just bash the head against the table. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll see.
If in
All right,
You've
doubt,
got good rec, right?
I've got one.
Oh, okay.
I've got a dice in it.
So okay, just a dice. Okay, sure.
Just a dice.
Sure,
My
sure.
skirmish is much better. I don't try to break things usually.
they're not trying to fight back. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
you're unleashing savage force here. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's
on
true.
that front.
It's true. Right, let's go for it.
Is it a 6?
So,
It's a 6. Let's
hey!
Today's the
Amazing.
day we've learned how to roll 6s, everyone.
Only
We're
took 6 weeks.
We're suddenly capable. Let's
Finally,
go.
Cuff, whose job is to punch things, can punch things. Finally.
Yeah.
Look at that character arc we've had. So you are grabbing their head and sort of just like a quick bash, like to just
Like-
sort of like as an intimidation thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you grab them, put them down on the table in front of you, back up, and you can see that you've broken their nose essentially, and the sort of blood starts to come out. And interestingly enough, with that,
They do bleed.
They do bleed. And what you get as the sort of blood comes out is that it is not red blood.
Oh.
Looks like a sort of black sort of ichor starting to come down their face a little bit, and they are sort of like dazed a little bit, and then you see a tongue come out, a normal tongue, come out and sort of like lick it up and taste it, and they sort of just blink and they sort of like nod in agreement.
Are you
And-
cuffed now? Or are you someone else?
I should not be here. Let me go.
I'll let you go if you tell us what on earth is going on.
On Earth. Good one.
Yeah. Yeah, a good one. A joke. So good, only a few get it. And I think we need to test if you're on the level. Explain my own joke to me, why don't you?
What year is this?
What do you mean? What year is this?
Did I stutter?
Fuck you, Fiona.
I'd like to remind you whose head's on the table here and who's in handcuffs. Do you not know what year it is?
I come from a different year.
What year do you come from?
Year 968.
That's 100 years in the future.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Things have progressed quite far.
And as they talk, the voice gets sort of like, again, does that up and down, sort of that whittling around. So sometimes it's hard to process. But then surely but surely, you don't know when it happened. They are just talking naturally, as if the more they speak, the more they get used to forming the words and changing them stuff.
I'm
So
watching too much Doctor Who, Fiona.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's...
Don't look at my
I do.
notes. And they sort of go through and they sort of like, again, they look quite relaxed as they're talking. Their hands sort of like behind their back and full eye contact with you, Cuff, at this point. We've come from so far away, and we wanted to expand. Then the fractures came, and we decided to step through.
Where did you come from?
Oh. It's hard to remember. So many worlds. Many Duskvols. The last one was nice. I liked it a lot, but apparently we must keep going. pity. This one is ripe for expansion, but it seems our leader has other plans.
Who's your leader? The gentleman on the platform.
Sherlock?
An interesting one.
Sorry, what?
Yes. Yes, the guy locks eyes with Where at this point.
Some guy I used to work for. It's just a guy.
You know the person doing this?
No. Well, no, just like he's known. He's just some rich guy. He's no one.
What do you know about him?
He's very rich. I mean, doesn't like it if people nick his stuff.
Oh, you stole from him. Okay.
No, I'm just. Yeah.
There are
What did you
clubs
steal?
that people you steal from can join, or
Where?
Yeah. Well, yes. I don't like. He's a big important lord. Who's I mean, a big important lord, rich. Like I used to work for him like ages ago, just like household stuff. Like before I became all cool and edgy like I am now.
the doctor's going to come over with a tiny espresso cup, and use a handkerchief to wipe up the sort of remainder of the sort of black ichory blood and saliva that's probably left over from them licking it up, and just kind of fold that over and put it in a pocket, and it's like, when you worked for this individual, did they have awful mystical powers?
No.
So this is a recent development.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, Petra would have mentioned if they had awful mystical powers.
Where's Petra?
This is Petra.
Petra's a mate of mine. She works for him. She still works for him.
Right, and you haven't seen her recently?
Well, yeah, like quite recently. And she didn't mention anything about awful mystical powers.
Right.
And this
She
is going to
seemed
sound
fine,
like
everything seemed
she
fine.
seemed
Oh,
fine.
she did. Oh wait, no, she said she did say people were going missing who came to the house and leaving their coats behind. She said people were going missing. This is probably really important and relevant, actually. I think she said people were going like coming.
Yes, would you like to continue, strange person? Because
He's looking at me.
Oh no, keep going. I'm finding it fascinating.
No, you keep going. You keep going, or I'll show you how hard that table is again.
If Sherlock has not had these powers forever and has only developed them recently, where did they come from?
Where did they come from?
Did they come from a door?
This is the best part. Having you little ants work it all out.
All right, I'm gonna slam their head against the table again.
Cuff.
Yeah, he's again. I've not. You've rolled it already. The 6. Again, same thing again. More of the black ichor. Definitely, there's more sort of like a tooth gets loose as well, and there's like as they're coughing up.
can I try and attune to the ghost field? And hear me out. I'm going to pitch something, Fiona. I'm going to try and attune to the ghost field, and I'm trying to work out if this stranger has a soul, or if they are maybe a demon.
Ooh. Okay.
I can use my ritual if you want, but I would like to argue attune.
That's fine. Remind people, because people might have just tuned in and don't know what your ritual is. So just describe that for us just now. That's okay.
So with ritual, I can summon a supernatural effect or being, and my particular ritual allows me to remove the soul of creatures, or at least I'm trying. Oh wait, no, that's not my current one, is it? There's one.
No.
My current one that I have already is that I can go back in time. Using my ritual, I can like see backwards in the past using the using my ritual. So I guess it's not really that actually, because
I don't think it is. So that's fine. But I think you can absolutely. You've never. I would say because before you've attuned to like objects to feel the memory of that, and but the ghost field, it has this thing called echoes, which we describe this idea of the things happening over and over again. But you do remember way back when Roderick was saying that the more of these echoes, the more manifest. So you know that the field itself is
more active.
It's more active recently in the last 6 months. I think it's not impossible to say that you can try to attune, and maybe you'd have to touch this person to sort of get more of a sense and like what the echoes are around this person, maybe see them more. So it would be an attune roll.
Okay.
However, this would be a desperate situation.
Okay.
So I think it's very dangerous what you were doing. So only a 6 will you succeed. You do mark XP for rolling it already. And I say the consequence of this is that if you fail, and so there's a 1 to 5 on this one if it's desperate, you become possessed by the creature in front of you.
I'm okay.
I love it.
I think that's fun. Okay. Yeah.
That'd be great.
I think that's fun.
This is fun. That seems fun.
I think that should happen.
I just see Lou's
Tempting
face.
us.
Everyone else is like, yay, and Lou's like, absolutely not.
I'm like, oh, that seems great. I haven't got a dice tray.
Is there anything else you would like to? You've got equipment, because I know you've got your candles and stuff. If you want to mark a slot for that, that'll give you an extra dice.
I would have brought a candle. So I will take a candle as well. That gives me 4 dice.
Yeah.
So that's
fine. I'm just but you still have to get a 6.
Yeah.
It's not. That's what I'm trying to be. Like
You have to get a 6, Emily.
Before you do it, Emily, can we flash back for a moment? I can give you another extra dice.
yes.
Go for it.
So I've been thinking about this between sessions. Cuff really wants you to take them out of their body for reasons that have been explored in roleplay. I've been stealing your stuff. And I've been hoping that if I had enough of your stuff with me and the opportunity came up and we had to do it, you would do that because you didn't have a choice and we happen to have your apparatus with you. So I've actually got a bunch of your spirit jars with me. I don't quite know what's what, so I've just bought a bunch of things that I thought might be useful. But I think if I see you starting to like flicker, I'm going to flash back to have been kind of taking your things busily, just in case that you'll finally take me out of myself. And at this moment, I'll go, Primula, if you're looking for your weird ghost stuff, I actually, don't be mad at me, but I brought some with me. Look, let's talk about it later. But if you want some of your weird jar things, and
I would love a weird jar. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'll get out my coat and just hand over a collection of jars that I've stashed.
Just this one is fine. That's a jam jar. That was from breakfast.
Well, I just thought maybe everything. Okay, never mind.
You've got your overnight oats there that you'd left for a few days.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so does that give me another 1?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got 5 dice you're rolling. So let's just lay out the scene. Because what we'll do when you've rolled this, we'll do a quick description and then we're going to go to our break. So you've got 5 dice.
Actually, I need to dash off.
You dash down. Don't worry. We'll dash off.
Breath to find out what the roll is.
No, we'll go. Sorry.
I think.
So we've got 5.
Sorry,
go on. Yeah.
I just think the doll like sees the black sort of paw, and sort of looks down at a slight bit of exposed wrist on her body, and sees like where her veins underneath are just slightly darker than one might expect, and so she just reaches out and like, as the doctor kind of wiped a bit, she just sort of touches the blood, and then Cuff offers the jar. She's like, yes, no, thank you, that would be lovely, and pulls it out, puts it in front of them, and then the sort of black eyes just suddenly go bright white, and all of the lines on Primula's skin just begin to glow, and you see like you see them get wider and the cracks, and Primula looks like she's almost screaming in pain as she's just desperately trying to work out what this thing is, but silently.
Okay. So you're going to roll 5 dice. You need to get a 6 on at least one of them to succeed.
I don't have a
And
dice tray, and that feels dangerous.
We can push ourselves and all that sort of thing, but just laying down the stakes of this. This is high, dangerous stuff you're doing.
I found a thing that's going to be my dice tray because
Oh goodness.
I have to have a dice tray.
I would suggest, Emily, you roll them one at a time.
One at a time. That makes me feel like it's less likely to get a 6, and I don't know why. I know that's just not true, but okay.
I say that. You're probably going to get a 6 all the time, so let's do
first,
one at a
first
time.
one. Here we go. First one.
Come on, Emily.
First one's a 1. Okay, well that's 1.
Out of the way. Out of the way, 1.
Next one. Ah! You can't see because it's on the black. Oh no, fuck! It's a 6. Hang on, I'll pick it up.
It's a 6. Roll the rest of them. Roll the rest of them. I believe you're on 6. Roll the rest of them. See if you can get 2 6s because then you get an edge.
Can I point out that it's the pitch black dice as well?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool.
Okay, I'll roll the other 3 all at once.
Yes. Go.
I did not get another 6, but I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So thank God it wasn't a 5. There we go. Hooray!
Wow. Okay. So we'll describe.
I kind of wish it
this.
had been the last one. It would have been better for the drama. But
I know.
that's
It was
fine.
always as soon as I said it, it wouldn't do it. But that's fine. So yeah, you put your wrist. Sorry, did you say you putting it like to their face or to like?
No,
How are you doing this?
She was just examining her blood being darker than a regular person's because of her sort of demonic ancestry, and then reaching out and sort of touching the blood on their face in order to sort of like it was just a thematic look.
Sure. Yeah. For some reason, I just thought you just went but and just put your wrist in their face. Yeah.
Lick it.
Yeah. So you go ahead and everyone sort of is with bated breath as you sort of focus. And again, as you described, the light coming out there, and as you smear the blood from their face, you tune into the ghost field, and you follow. Again, it's almost like similar to that ritual you had with the like going from ghost to ghost. You see this person almost like a weird point of view sort of camera. This person as they look around doing stuff. You sort of follow where they go, and you see them going through every single fracture that they've ever been through, countless and countless of them. You see them in worlds that you cannot even describe, some underwater, some bright in the air, as they are sort of going from place to place, opening doors, closing doors. You can see, interestingly enough, the more you go back again, that sort of like stop motion sort of flicking back through, it's almost imperceivable if you were watching it bit by bit, but you can fast forward and slow it down and stuff like that. As you go slowly further and further back, you notice some changes in this particular person, in that as they proceed to go through each door, their eyes, as we're going backwards, start to go sort of like reduce down on that sort of contrast until you get to a point when they're not black orbs at all, they're just normal eyes. And you think, as you sort of go through and you see this person, that demonic, no, not demonic, but every time a door is used, it's almost like a 1% up on a corruption. Something has changed about their physiology in some way. And it's almost horrific to the point where you go back and you see the initial person going through the door. Just a scared person being forced through a door and saying that this is better for all of us. And seeing this person, hundreds of people being forced through, forced to take on different forms, forced to infiltrate and take over this place because something is following them. Something, you can't quite grasp it until this person pulls away. In just a word on your mind that comes to the forefront. The Eater of Worlds.
Huh. What's chasing you? The Eater of Worlds, what is it? How do we stop it?
Shh, don't say it.
I'll say it as much as I want until you tell me about it.
No, it'll hear you.
The Eater of Worlds, the Eater of Worlds, the Eater of Worlds. Tell me what it is.
It follows us. It never stops. It's never satisfied. So we hide, we run, we expand, we change. It follows us like a dog following a rag on a string. Looks at you all and he was like, this is the good part. You said his name. Skurlock.
What's he got to do with it?
Oh, he was the foolish person that let us into this world. He went through the door to us. And what would have taken a millennia to get through it, he came right here. He opened it away for us because his curiosity got the better of him. He is now one of us. Just as you will all be one of us. And as you sort of lean back Anyway, that black blood doesn't leave your fingers. And as this thing grins at you, you can see, like, past back the teeth and the smiling grin, something quite unexpected. And Doctor, you've not seen this before. A sort of a blackness, but like a sort of, can only be described as like a grill, like some sort of like mixture of metal and plastic and flesh. And you're looking at something as this person is sort of talking and whispering, and then you think it's like this person wasn't really speaking well before, but now is crystal clear in their voice. They're learning, and then it hits you. This person shouldn't be able to see and look and turn. How does this creature see? And then you think back to how these creatures operated and turned as one. One person was forcing the way forward, and that was Skurlock. Skurlock wasn't these creatures. He is the headpiece. He sees all. With that,
Oh dear.
let us go for our break.
Oh.
We're going to do our lore drop after the break, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because obviously we've got Shamini just
Yeah.
away from camera just now.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
how are people feeling?
Yes, good. Let's kill Skurlock. Okay, great. We'll see you after the break, where we're gonna do fun lore drops, fun times, and then we're gonna kill Skurlock, which I'm very excited about. And then we win.
Yeah.
Win Blades in
Yeah.
the Dark. Okay.
Let's
See
win
you
Blades
after
in
the
the
break
Dark.
to win Blades in the Dark. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, everyone. We're back. We have a little lore drop to do before we jump back into the story. Should we do the lore drop, then explain what happened to Shamini, or should we explain what happened to Shamini?
Because I don't know. It's going to very much distract
It will distract
me.
you, yeah.
Yeah. I don't like.
That sounds good. Yeah.
All I know is that just before we started, Emily said, "Do you know what happened?" And I was like, "No," and now I'm scared.
Fine. Look, Ware's dead, but that's who.
Yeah, I was sad the way they went out as well. But,
it was sad that you weren't here for it, but it had to happen.
But, lore drop.
Airships.
Hey.
Look, it's not the cheeriest of lore drops because an airship has just exploded down on top of us. And the history of airships isn't always the rosiest. But I have a fun beginning of airship. Well, it's actually not that fun because it's about the First World War and like army, requisitioning different products and being like, no, you can't use this and we need that. And one of the things that there was supposedly a sort of bit of a prohibition on was making sausages because the cow intestines that they use to make the skin of the sausages, they also use to make the gas cells of the airships because you can layer it up and it's super, super thin and super, super light. And then you can fill it with hydrogen and then you've got a lighter than aircraft. And then they went and bombed people with them. But, it's sausage fun, so to speak.
A sausage fest, some might say.
It's like a fest, a festival of no sausages. Sausages were banned.
I cannot believe this. What crazy lore.
That's so sick.
That's insane. They made them out of sausages.
Well,
a sausage skin.
A sausage ship.
You've twisted my words quite a lot now.
Sausage
now
skin.
Now we've got sausage ships.
Okay, this is what I've understood is they were making airships out of sausages.
Yeah, the bags were made out of sausage skins. What? No, it's not exactly what I said. Cow intestines. That's what I said.
It's like the BBC rewriting of the research paper to be like a more headline. It's like, ships made of sausages. It was in the paper.
As someone who makes a lot of their content from making cool headlines out of papers that are very boring. I think me and Shamini can attest that maybe I would call this sausage airship.
I would call it pigs actually can fly.
That would be the tagline. You see, it's sausage airships. Pigs actually can fly.
It was actually the cows that are doing the flying because it's the cow intestines.
Cows can fly.
The pork into, and apparently, if you have a giant, a big airship, you would need the intestines of more than 250,000 cows.
Pigs might not be able to fly, but cows can.
Cows can.
Hey.
Carry on.
Other fun facts. The big luxury ships, like crossing the Atlantic, like the Hindenburgs, had a smoker's lounge. You weren't. It was pressurized to avoid any possible mixing of hydrogen and oxygen, and you weren't allowed to take matches. Like, apparently, when you boarded,
that isn't what caused the Hindenburg. That was a crash, wasn't it? It's
no,
that was yeah.
I'm not sure
hit something, right?
No, they were coming into dock.
Something as it came in, didn't it hit the dock? Like it caused a spark as it hit, and that's what set it all off.
But also on the
there's horrible footage of it.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because that was the first big disaster that people saw, and it had such a cultural impact because it was filmed. There was actual footage of it, them being broadcast all over the news, and it was just mind blowing at that time.
Was it filmed because it was the first time it had done the Atlantic crossing?
Something like that, I think.
I don't know.
I think it had done it. I think it had done it before.
Oh, okay, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think they were back and forth a few times.
So, according to this article that I found, they said that it was likely caused by a spark igniting a leak of hydrogen gas, which was kept to use the airship afloat. It was believed to have caused by static electricity, either due to a difference in electrical potential between the airship and the surrounding atmosphere, or from sort of some other discharge. According to airships.net.
But there was a leak as well as the spark, so there was a leak going on as well. Which
yes,
I didn't know. Okay, that's interesting.
But that's wild though. That's something like what I think of static electricity, because I constantly get electric shocks when I'm here in the US. Maybe I've told you guys before. So obviously I do lots of stuff on the computer, but because the temperature and the air pressure changes all the time. So during winter, I was getting electric static shocks, maybe 5-6 times a day. And it would be literally, I'd touch my microphone, I get a shock. I'd touch the cat, we'd both get a shock. We didn't like each other as a result. Honestly, I'd never in winter because of the change in cold air pressure.
Does that
And I
cause
was
more static? I didn't know that.
I don't. I was telling my partner, I was
I
like,
want
this,
law
I've
drop
never
on
had
this.
this before.
Yeah.
Do you? I don't know. We can test it
Fiona's
out if you ever
weird
come visit.
electric nature.
But I genuinely was like, am I something rock? I genuinely thought I was going through some sort of health crisis because it kept happening. And Jake was like, no, this is something that happens every winter. And because I hadn't stayed, because obviously I've moved over officially now. It was awful, and I was like, how do I stop electric shocks from happening? And the answer is, you don't. You live with it. I took off my shoes. I didn't wear socks for ages. I don't know. I then wore shoes again.
Just like, oh yes, this is what happens in America. We're all static.
Get a
laughing at me.
humidifier according to the internet.
A humidifier.
Carry that with me.
So
Yeah,
when the temperature is warm, the air like can hold a lot more water in the humidity. As it gets colder, it can't hold as much, and as a result, electric charges build up on, and you get the discharges. Apparently this is a thing. You get more static shocks in winter. I didn't know that.
To the point of I had to open doors literally with my elbow because I would go for the handle and I'd get a shock, and so I was like Pavlovian response, like, and then I'd forget and I'd get a shock and I'd be like, God damn it, from the other room, and my partner was like, I'm sorry, sorry for my country.
That's so interesting. I didn't know
I
that.
apparently am static when I'm touching my laptop. My partner's like, you're static, and I didn't believe him, so I was like, close your eyes and tell me if I'm touching my laptop or not, and he could, and I was like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I had the same thing the other day. I had exactly the same thing the other day.
What do you mean?
Tempest
What do you
came
mean
in.
you're static?
So
you can
he
hear
touches
it.
me, and
So-
no, he touches me, and he's like, I can feel
Yeah.
it.
So I've
static.
got, because I've got YouTube right here, right? I've just knocked 1,000 things off, but I've got YouTube right here. If I'm holding my laptop like this, if I do
Yeah.
this to my laptop,
Yeah,
and Tempest has got his hand like this on my back,
he can
like
feel
on my
it.
back, he can feel when I touch it and when I let go.
We have to do
That's
this.
really weirdly specific.
This is
Well, it just happened last week by accident. I was just
Can
talking to him
everyone
and he
do
had his
this? Or
hand.
have you two got weird partners?
Our laptop's supposed to be static inducing.
Tell you what, next time we're all in person, when we're not all around the internet,
touching
we'll
each
all
other.
try. We'll do this, and we'll try each other and see if we can cause some sort of electric shock. How's
I'll
that?
feel static and electricity amongst all of you anyway. So and I get really static. I'm a really staticky person. I get static. So I want. Are some people more prone to static? Because I get the shock. I get shocked all the time. Like
Same.
yeah, escalators always set me off. When I go up an escalator on the tube,
No, that's
I
annoying.
always then touch someone and they're like ah. And there was something in particular that always used to set me off, and I can't remember what it was, but it'll come to me probably like halfway through the next bit of the episode. But
Like,
sorry,
Lord
Shamini, do you have
Skurlock,
more?
I'm going to
more
finish you
airship?
off with one fact that makes things, less terrible than they clearly are in Duskvol right now, which is most people survived the Hindenburg disaster. 62 people out of 97 did not die. They
got out. They ran away.
It was quite low down. It was landing. It was sinking slowly. They jumped out the windows. There were lots of people on the ground helping them, easily able to get to hospital.
They were. I don't because it didn't. They all just ran out when it hit the ground, right? It was because I'm sure I've seen the images of it, and I'm sure it's like coming down and then
It
it just
comes
suddenly
down.
goes. But I don't think
Yeah,
they're jumping
slow.
out. They just like it's on the floor and they just.
Well, I think
go.
they had to be able to get out the windows.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see
Yes.
what you mean.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
they
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
like jump from
Windows.
in the air.
Certain
Is what I mean.
parts of the ship they were able to kind of get out of easier.
Yeah.
That's true of like lots of different like things we think of as like big disasters. Like that's one of my favorite things that I learned when I used to teach like year 1 Great Fire of London is that 7 people died
Oh wow.
That's wild.
during the Great Fire of London, and 5 of those people died from drowning
What? Because they jumped in water to get away.
because
From
they
it.
jumped into the
Oh,
Thames
dear.
to get away
Never
from
jump
the
in
fire.
the Thames. I'm surprised it's not more from like smoke inhalation or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that's wow. That's nice. I mean, it's horrible that 7 people did die, but like it's
Interesting,
you
isn't
expected
it?
it
But
to be a bigger
it destroyed
thing, yeah.
100,000
It's
homes
the property,
Homes,
yeah,
yeah.
like it's not great for the
And
people
100
who have no
something
house,
churches.
Yeah. Okay, well, there's a current other disaster going on in the
Yeah,
world of Duskvol.
a more pressing.
Okay,
matter.
Shamini. So, we were
Oh,
just
Shamini,
last-
but
Something
talking
gone
of
wrong
disasters,
in the very
chatting-
short
just
time when I left.
chatting to the person, and I was like, "Oh, I'll do a spooky."
You'll test their soul, right?
Yeah, I'll do it. Oh, you were here for the test. of the
Little soul
right.
test.
Were you
Yeah.
here for the dice rolls? I got a 6, so
Oh, great! No, I
excellent.
didn't know that. Great. Yeah.
So I went like back through their past. They're not a demon. We found out not a demon. but they are
They're not from the 60s either.
Well, they might be, because
Oh.
we went back through their
Yeah.
like going through different. I saw every time they went through a door, and they
Yeah.
became more and
Oh.
more human as I went like back in time. Their eyes
Oh.
got less and less like black
Corrupted.
and
Right,
corrupted.
okay.
Yeah, and anyway,
Oh.
I then, as I got to the first one, I can't quite remember now. When did I hear about the Eater of Worlds, Fiona? It was in that bit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's quite an important detail, Shamini.
Yeah.
So the idea, like from what the doll was able to glean from this ritual, from this attunement,
They were
to the ghost
running
field,
from
was
something.
they were running for something. They were forced through these fractures initially, and over time, obviously, they've got more jaded, more sort of like corrupted by going through these fractures.
Hydra
but-
didn't come out totally evil. This all makes sense now.
But yeah, at the forefront of the mind as the dog break the connection was this thought of the destroyer of worlds. No, that's Alien, the eater of worlds. And what has occurred is that they were describing how this thing has been following these people, eating and being all consuming. So they are just expanding and on the run, taking over whatever they can. And normally to break through to another world takes time and all that sort of thing, but in this case, it has been the development of breaking through has exponentially sort of sped up because Lord Skurlock went through a door, and because of his connections and stuff, he was managed to open more stuff and bring more people
He was
through.
opening the door.
Oh yeah, he's done this.
Sherlock.
But we also then the doctor saw that like in their mouth there was like a grill, and they shouldn't really be able to like see. They shouldn't really be able to like communicate, and it's all because it seems like Lord Skurlock is controlling is like the head of this whole thing.
Oh,
so we have to go
no.
kill
His
Skurlock.
senses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His
very
what's
much. I think yeah,
Are
the
they-
doctor would have. Gone.
I was going to say, are they jumping around in time? Because the stranger said that they were from 968, I think it was, wasn't it? And we're on 853 or something. I think you said something like that. So that's 100 years in the future.
From what it sounds like, from what the doll probably then describes to you, again, we're all back in the room, I think, just to differentiate, is that you see glimpses of different time places. Like, you know, sometimes you see them really far in the future. Sometimes it's almost cataclysm era. So like Duskvol itself at the time would have been like a couple of coal mines, whatever. Sometimes it's completely alien what the dolls saw, like really alien worlds and stuff like that. But it seems like the one constant is that no matter where they go, it's always a Duskvol. Almost like, again, Fiona's term here, a parallel world, and they're breaking through and using the potential of these worlds to get through. The other thing I'd say at this point, as you're all sort of like revealing sort of a shock, knowing that this person, almost like connected to like a mycelial network of other people with using again, this is what you're interpreting, Skurlock, who is not part of this network but has been transformed in some way to be part of it, being almost the head of it. The Doctor, you feel in your pocket like a slight buzz or twitch. And as you put your hand into it, you pull out a remote that
It's
you
just
got.
a little rectangle with a crystal and buttons on it.
Mm-hmm. And as you look at it, it sort of buzzes ever so slightly. It feels quite warm in your hand. And at the top, a light sort of comes on. You think whatever this was that the person had, you think it's restored its charge at this point.
Because they put a remote towards the airship, didn't they, to make it come down?
It was like it was the parasol, wasn't it? It was the
You would.
umbrella.
I'd also say
Parasol,
you wouldn't
yeah.
know that. No, this is the thing that you got
Oh,
off
yeah.
the body in the dock. So that individual was dressed very weirdly. They had sunglasses, the checkerboard shift dress, and they also had what looks like a metal thing with sleek buttons on it, with a little crystal at the top.
So this seems like it could be doing a lot of damage.
What does it do? Do you know?
can I have a fiddle, Fiona?
A
Can I have
fiddle?
a little? Yeah, I want to have a
Okay.
little fiddle with it. See if it's got any like. Like when you take like the screws off the remote or something and you bring the back off. I want to see if like the technology inside it looks like it's current or whether it looks old or whether it looks futuristic, like whether I recognize any of the components.
Mhm.
I'm
This
learned
feels
in science.
You are learned in science. This feels like a tinker check because it's fiddling with devices and mechanisms.
That seems fair.
Is there anything else you would like to add to your dice pool?
I mean, I've previously established that I've got like little bits of and tools. Maybe I've got a little roll with sort of, and like the little mini screwdrivers you get in a cracker, which I used to carry around with me absolutely freaking everywhere. Because that's me.
We flash back to Christmas and everyone's got paper hats on, and the doctor's like going around going, "That's mine. That is also mine."
Pocket that for later. Thank you very much.
You've got like a napkin,
shoehorn and
shoehorn and napkin roll.
Bottle opener.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've just got little tiny supplies.
I'll let you have that. This is just a standard risk. A standard risky. So 6 obviously full success, mixed success 4 or 5, 1 to 3 fail. If you fail, you're going to press a button on this remote, and a door will appear.
Again, great.
Let's just fucking go through a door. Let's just
Like,
do it.
I
Let's just go
again
through a door.
want that to
Make her
happen.
end it by us just going through a random fucking door. Let's do it. I'm in chaos mode, everybody.
Do we want to hear the good news or the bad
The
news?
good news. We're going through a door.
Is that the good news?
The good news is I've rolled 3 of the same number.
Oh, that's not really that inherently.
Oh
good
no,
news, is it?
that doesn't feel good.
Just
What's
some
the bad news, Lou?
Oh, Lou.
The bad news is that number is 1.
Wow! wow! Wow!
I've never seen Fiona look so
You know
happy.
what? That's almost so impressive. It deserves being rewarded. I think.
I think so.
maybe that's such
3 ones.
a unlucky thing that it's almost
Great
lucky.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky for
Yeah.
Fiona, I think.
Yeah, no, and for the story.
Just gonna put these dice away.
Oh,
Let's
God.
find some
Never
new
see the
dice,
light of
Lou.
day again.
It might be too late.
So, you are fiddling with this sort of thing, and you're trying to. You knew there was like something like these like metal tubes, the double A's, and you're sort of like looking through, and you look at the actual sort of top bit of it, and you see there is like a button that has like a backwards arrow. There's one that looks like it has a house on it, and a play and pause button, like a triangle and 2 things, and you go and you accidentally brush back the sort of back button, and there's a soft click. And behind you, Doctor, suddenly appears a huge gatehouse place. And you can see like 2 oak doors on it. On the side, you can see like scratches and blood. And you can, and as you sort of turn around, all of you see this huge door has just appeared in this busy bean cafe
Holy shit.
with the doctor trying to figure out. And there is a as somebody knocks on the door.
They're knocking from the other side of the door. And is there like a wall around it, or could I circle it?
Okay. Would you like to circle it?
I would like. Yes.
Yeah.
Swing.
What's everyone else doing?
When they
Backing
knock,
away.
I'm gonna say, "Who's there?"
Don't make it creepy.
Oh God.
Alistair.
Anyone else doing anything?
I think
Backing
I'm
away,
watching
backing
the person, the figure that we brought with us, to see how they respond.
Okay. Aware? Just checking if you're doing anything.
Backing away from the door. I'll be over here by the normal door.
By the normal door. Excellent.
Yeah, the safe door.
over by the cabinet of pastries.
I
Yeah.
would say for the doll, you slowly go around. You don't go all the way around because you try to keep the eye light. It looks very similar to the other door that you saw earlier tonight, in the sense of like it just appears. It doesn't seem to be any gate or anything like holding out. Like you think you could do like a full 360. You can't necessarily without losing sight of the others. I think that's the thing that stops you a little bit, because you're just like, I don't want to lose sight of them in case something happens, something comes through. But it again, and yeah, actually, as you sort of go to almost like a 90-degree sort of look, when something is like bashing on the door, which I will say continues to bash on the door when someone says, "Who's there?" Like it looks like, again, it's almost as if it's coming from both ends, as if the door could open from either side.
Oh, good.
Cuff, you're looking at the individual, and they are smiling.
Okay.
No, Fiona is smiling.
Come in.
Literally,
because they wanted to get in. They wanted to come in through our door, didn't they?
shiver just went down my back.
No.
Oh, I felt it. It's horrible.
Okay, I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to punch this guy in the face. I
you
hate their
sorry?
guts. Just gonna punch that jaw.
All right. It is a desperate action. This person is going to keep on talking and keep on encouraging you to do it. It's a desperate action. Mark XP. You need a 6. It's going to be a wreck. If you fail on this,
A wreck?
it's going to be a wreck. They're not fighting back.
Wreck them.
They're not fighting back. I will wreck them. I'm
Because-
still wearing my
Yeah. Okay,
Knuckle
that's fine.
dusters. Let's go.
If you fail this roll, they've given permission to whatever's beyond the door to come in. That door will open, and whatever's on the other side will come in and cause harm to everyone that's in this coffee shop.
God. So it's desperate, so it needs to be a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Come
right,
on,
here
Cuff.
we go. Here we go.
Do it one at a time.
Yeah. One at a time?
Yeah.
Okay, which dice do we want? Which dice do we want? They're all over the
good
floor.
ones.
'Cause the good ones? This is a good one. I like this one. I'll save that one till last. This one was good last time as well. We'll use this one again. Okay.
Oh my god, this is really bad.
God. God, this bastard. I already dislocated your jaw. What the hell? Let's see if we can re-dislocate it. Okay, number 1.
Okay.
We want a 6.
6. Is it a 1?
It is a 1.
Okay, well I got a 1 on my last one, and the second one was a 6.
it's-
So
And the second one was 6.
Yeah.
Come on.
Average out.
So-
Average it out. Yeah.
Come on, those knuckle
I should have rolled
dusters.
mine one at a time.
Yeah, that's where Lou went wrong. The first roll
That's
was
where
always a
Lou went
1.
wrong.
Yeah,
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 I
you
went
did.
I got it
wrong,
wrong.
yeah.
This one right here is going to be a 6.
Yeah, of course it is.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1, 6. Not quite.
What is it? Is it a 4? A 5?
It's a 5.
It's a 5. That was good though. Do you want to push it? Maybe.
Yes, I
So
do.
So we will push it. It's going to reduce the consequence. The person still
Yes.
going to shouted, "Come in," but the door is going to buckle it. It needs something else as a result. You'll
How are
have
you gonna
one more
stop them getting
opportunity.
in?
So
Okay.
it's still going to be stress related. So just going checking my.
Oh, how
thing
stressed
quickly.
am I?
So it's in your prowess.
Yes.
Roll the dots beyond the line in prowess. I think have you got 3?
3.
Off the top? All right. So just let me know what you get. The higher the number, the better. The less stress you will take.
Should I do it one at a time again, or should I do all 3 together?
Oh, whatever you feel, Holly.
I think
whatever
all
you
3
feel.
together. This feels like a last-ditch attempt.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go for it.
As
Okay.
Cuff is doing this, can I turn to Ware and go, "We'll need you. Hide."
Oh, Where's quite happy with that. I'm gonna hide. Yeah, all right.
Okay, we'll do that in a second. Hang on.
All right.
Okay.
3,
Best of luck.
2, 1. Oh, one of them went to the floor. I'm gonna roll this one. 2 5s so far.
Okay.
Give another one.
It's a 1.
Okay. A 5. You're gonna take 2 stress. You're gonna take some stress.
Yeah.
But
not too
you've managed to, again, it's that sort of like you shout, you see them shout like, "Come in," but you sort of come in like, again, punch that, like you get their mouth to the thing and you hold them tight so they don't get out the last bit of it. And again, the banging still comes on the door like,
I'm gonna put my whole hand in their mouth.
done. I'm not gonna roll for that.
Done.
you can feel again that this jaw again, you can feel that sort of like weird sort of texture of the sort of the grating of something around it, and a nice the eyes of whatever they are look up to you, and you just feel the wetness of a tongue like over it as you are
No.
convinced. I know.
Friend.
And this creature is like looks like they're having fun now. You think they're now, even though they're damaged and weakened, they are having the time of their life. And you know what it
Ooh.
is? Now you think about it, it's seeing you guys in fear. You've brought something, and you are not in control anymore.
This is like a hive mind, right? They're all parts of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see what happens if I twist this broken jaw to the knocking?
Ooh,
Oh.
sure. Well, come to that in a second. I just want to check in with everyone else because obviously there's a lot happening in this sort of moment. I like that idea though. Anyone else? Anyone else got any thoughts of how to deal with someone at the door? I did see someone in chat saying like, just say you're not in, which I think is cracking.
Should have done this.
It's been like,
We'll
no,
start
no,
with
no,
that.
you're not welcome.
Sorry, go
We're not
away.
home. We're not. No one's
No
here.
carol singers, thank you.
No junk mail. They just have a sorry you're not in like slipped under the door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? I'm going to say for Cuff tries to do this maneuver.
Oh, I don't even know. I think I will just start pulling out candles and just making like a circle around me,
That's
just
nice.
ready to
That's
do
fair.
something. But I don't know.
great.
quite
Yeah,
know
a protection.
what to
It makes total sense because again, you can feel this perhaps as well. Like there's, you know, you've maybe got that residual sort of energy from the echoes and stuff like that. You like something's not right, and you know that door is full of potential energy, and it messes with the ghost field a little bit. So to protect yourself from whatever's coming through makes sense. So yeah, you're getting ready for that. So I think that's a good shout. Doctor, and where are you hiding? Close by, or are you?
Behind
Are you
the pastries.
Great.
The
You know what? I
pastries you
think
can actually like. So I'm on the side of the counter where you can reach the pastries. Just
yes. You've bravely
the staff
like
side,
you
Bravely ran
sort of-
away.
yeah.
yeah, you've sort of vaulted over. You've grabbed a few croissants to go. Yeah, some donuts and whatnot. Yeah, I'm going to say for the moment, maybe we'll call for it if like it comes into question. But you're currently hidden,
I'm hiding.
and maybe
I'm
we'll
hiding
have it
and
later.
I'm very happy about it.
Yeah, you're just munching like almond pastries, trying to eat
Just
it.
crying slightly.
Yeah, I mean you're frightened. Like the way they've been talking about Skurlock as well. Like you know this man is terrifying. There was something about him that you never really liked.
He was
and
kind of
if-
terrifying when he was just a normal guy,
Normal.
and now I'm
Yeah.
like, oh no.
And now he's been corrupted, infected by something. And you would remember as well, he was always fascinated with like arcane. Like he always was interested in artifacts, and maybe that's where you sort of knew where various bits and pieces that you know this is valuable stuff because he was into this sort of occult sort of things. So of course he's going to be one of those people who hears a door, sees a door, goes through the door. You know, see it, say it, door it. You know, that sort of vibe to him.
See it, say it, door.
So
I'm gonna throw the remote on the floor and stamp on it.
Yeah.
okay, let's do two things. Cuff is trying to like do something with the sort of the tongue sort of thing, trying to stop it. And Doctor, most importantly, you are throwing and stamping on the remote. Okay.
The way Fiona
Let's do
clarified that feels bad.
Yes, I worried about how Fiona stopped what she was doing and went back to that.
Okay. Okay. Cuff.
Oh, God.
Cuff. So, what are you trying to do with the? Are you just trying to see if there's a connection at all, or that sort of thing?
What I'm trying to do is cause as much pain as I can with a very easy, like something that I'd be able to do anyway with the position that my hand's in. Like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be, I'm not trying to do anything difficult, but I'm just thinking if I can twist this person's broken jaw or like try and wrench out their tongue or something that
Yeah.
would really hurt them to see if it would affect. I'm putting it together and being like, okay, if
Yeah.
Skurlock's the eyes, what's this thing? Can we stop it? Can we
Sure.
hurt it?
Absolutely. No, I like that. Just say. I think you're actually in a controlled position. Well, no, because the things coming at the door. So, okay, it is a risky standard. Okay, I think this is going to be a skirmish because this person is like, although as soon as you grab around the thing. They know they go and they're trying to get back to you. So they're trying their best. What a weird night, guys. This not sexy at all. So I
No,
would like
definitely
you to
not
roll.
sexy. Opposite of sexy.
I'm gonna get you to roll me a skirmish, please. It's a risky standard. The consequence of failing this task is you will absolutely be able to do whatever you want in terms of like if you want to rip out the tongue, you do that. You cause a lot of pain, but it will have no effect on the individual person because that person will be cut off from the mycelium network essentially. Again, that sense of like they know something's happening, so they'll just cut that thing off, and so you would lose your contact. That is the failure if you fail this roll.
Okay, can I use my knuckle dusters as well?
You jamming them in there?
Yeah.
Sure.
Fuck okay. 3 dice. I'm just gonna roll them all at the same time. I'm just gonna go for
you're
it.
Using them as sort of like again purchase on the teeth, perhaps. Yeah. All right.
I did it. I did it.
So, it's a 6.
It's a 6 on the bisexual dice. It's a 6.
Woo! Oh wow!
Yes, bisexuals. Woo!
Well done, bisexuals. Yeah. So you bisexually. What do you do with the?
What do you bisexually do, Holly?
Yeah.
Come on, Holly. Tell us what you bisexually do.
No, there's something bisexual about what I'm about to do.
Evidence to the contrary.
There's nothing bisexual about the way that they do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my hand is in their mouth already. This is so horrible what I'm about to do. I've got my hand in their mouth. My knuckle dust is like on the roof of their mouth. I imagine causing them a lot of pain. Yeah. And I'm going to hold their tongue.
Yep.
And I'm going to twist it. And I'm going to pull as hard as I can.
Okay. Sure.
This is not nice.
No, it's the most awful thing I've ever done in a role-playing game. Definitely.
As you pull on the thing, the first thing you notice with that success is that it doesn't seem to affect what is happening with the door. There is still like a coming in, but you can hear like a scream, a shout. Again, it's like it doesn't connect, but it gets elongated longer and longer. And again, you start to see these sort of dark patches, almost like this ichor, as whatever has taken over this particular body is starting to wrench through.
Ooh.
And more importantly, you hear similar parallel screams coming from the streets around the coffee shop. You realize that because this person, you've been openly talking and has maybe been reporting back, is that people are trying to hone in on your location.
Shit. Oh yeah, of course.
But this realization is that even with the door here, you have minutes before you are surrounded by more of these particular creatures.
Run.
Doctor. You throw down the remote and you stamp on it. I would love for you to erect for me, please.
You've got to be bad at that.
Anything.
Hey, that's good. I think that's good.
Might be good.
I've got 1 in rec.
Okay. That could be good.
This is just a risky standard because again, you're like, you think this will stop. If you fail, not only will that door open, you will open a lot more doors around you.
Oh no!
In the vicinity.
Oh yeah.
No pressure.
Yep, no pressure.
1 dice. I don't think it's a 6, guys. I don't think it's a 6.
It's a 3. Would you like to push yourself? What I'd say with that is that you don't suddenly just open up doors willy-nilly, but like you definitely another door or two will open, so we'll reduce the consequence. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is... Sorry, what did I say? This was a wreck? Yes.
Yeah, you did.
So prowess, please, to push yourself. 2. You rolled a 2?
No, my prowess is 2.
Yep, so you roll 2d6.
Let's go.
And let me know what the highest is. Sorry, I was like, oh no, more stress for the doctor.
We're all stressed, Fiona. In the real world.
Hold on, that one fell on its side.
Okay.
Zoom is blocking out what Lou is saying.
I know.
It's
2 2s.
2 2s. Oh no! Can you start rolling other numbers, like different numbers, Lou? No.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
I always liked the doctor. No, I'm kidding. So you are going to take 3 stress.
Past tense.
Light, yes. Yeah, you stamp down, and because there's a sudden shift again, because you're hearing these cries and stuff, you don't hit fully on this control box. you hear the sounds of crackling as this thing breaks. And you, with that sort of, you sort of go, "Huh," and you look up, and you see suddenly around, like outside in the streets, and suddenly in the room with you, again, this quite small cafe place, suddenly it's almost like a door appears and disappears. Another door appears with like curtains around it. You see a revolving door suddenly sort of whiz past you outside on the street. A localized effect of doors and fractures are starting to open around you.
This feels like a run situation. Is this a run situation?
Pop up from behind the pastry cabinet. Like I would support that decision.
Cuff, leave them, and I'm gonna start going.
Okay.
You got it.
Everyone
I'm
leave.
gonna just obey immediately and follow.
Yeah. Everyone leaving this poor person
Yeah.
who's had their tongue wrenched.
Yeah.
We don't feel sorry for them at all.
Yeah, I have no sympathy
they
for that
suck.
person. Yeah, they
No,
said come
zero.
in, and that was rude.
I have sympathy for us. That's who I have sympathy
Yeah.
for.
I see.
As we run, I'll say, where? Take us to Skurlock.
Like his house.
Wherever he'll be.
Petra will know what to do.
Where? Above table. We may not have that much of the episode left. Take us to Skurlock.
Petra is likely to be at the, like, from Ware's knowledge, would likely to be at the manor house for sure.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Like,
No.
there's nowhere else that he's gonna like. He was at like. I mean, we just left where he
One second,
was.
guys.
So. I have no guesses as to where he might be, other than where he just was or his house.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. As you folks start to leave, again, you're managing to maneuver your way out of these sort of doors, these flashing things, which are getting faster and faster and faster because of the localized effect. Cuff, there's a moment where you sort of see this, this creature, like, again, the tongue is slightly elongated because of the way you've sort of pulled out, and they sort of look up to you, the black orbs sort of looking, and they are just laughing.
I'm
Good
just
luck.
gonna. Oh,
Look. Thank you. It's so kind.
yeah. Thanks, friend. I'm gonna look at them, and I'm gonna try and shake as much of the fear as I can from my body and my face, and just look at them with absolute, like, delighted loathing, and as if I'm gonna just pour out of my eyes as much as I can. You're fucked, mate. You're totally fucked. And try and like make.
Sigh.
That was not from the individual that just
What
spoke.
was it? What did it say?
For Blue Sky.
No, that's no.
For
not
Blue
the-
Sky.
No, not for-
Oh, sorry. For
God, no, it was blue.
sorry,
blue
my
time.
brain
Blue
just
time.
went
Blue time.
Blue time.
I was
Thank
like,
you.
hang
Thank
on.
you.
No, it wasn't
Sorry.
blue.
Like it was
I know
blue.
one.
Hang on. Flashback.
Blue time.
Seamless.
Amazing.
Seamless. It's
They're
amazing.
just really against Twitter. That's
Yeah.
that's all it is.
For Blue Sky.
Yeah.
Oh
it's-
dear,
yeah.
oh dear. There's too many similar
Oh.
sounding words in these words. But yes, as that voice does not come from this individual, you look and it seems to come through the door itself as, again, like a bash.
Let's go.
Bash.
We're leaving.
bash.
Let's
We're
go. We
running.
gotta go.
running.
Running.
Wait,
Alright, you
why are
all
we-
leave.
Why are we running to the scary guy?
We need to kill him.
Kill him, right? Okay, sure. I will take them
Looks
to
to me.
Yeah. White City. Not White City, what's it called?
Sorry.
BBC.
White
No,
City.
it is very much like
Shepherd's
White
Bush.
City.
Yeah.
Shepherd's Bush.
On the central
it's-
line.
It's actually in Six Towers. It's very close to where your lair was initially. So it's almost like heist part two, where we go try and kill Skurlock. Let's do a quick sort of, like, we're not going to do an engagement roll. It's still part of the same thing. But I guess, what is your
Can I
sort
just
of
say-
plan?
If we'd just taken this guy that we ripped the tongue out of to the person, we could have been like, well,
Bye.
done our mission. See ya, everyone. I don't think it would have gone well, but we could have done.
That
Anyway.
person was on the ship. I think they're dead. I think
they were
everyone's
on the ship.
dead.
I didn't realise they were on the ship.
They had just arrived on the ship from foreign lands.
Well,
hadn't
so
they?
you don't know if they were on the ship, but
But
it is likely
there was a lot of
because
soldiers.
it was late at night that they
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
were on the ship. So
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Okay, so they're dead anyway. So cool. That was okay. It makes sense.
Cool,
Okay.
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. To Skerlock. Kill
Cool,
Skerlock.
cool.
Should we
Kill
take a
Skerlock.
little break while we
Yes.
just wait? And,
Sounds good.
All right, we'll be back in a couple of minutes with the finale of Blood and Fog, A Blades in the Dark story. See you in a sec. Bye.
Wah. All right, we are back for the penultimate, no, actual part,
Actual
final
final,
part,
yeah.
or the actual final part.
ultimate.
Yeah, underscore final, underscore this version, underscore final.
No,
of
really, this one this time.
This one, version 2 of this Blades in the Dark, Blood and Fog. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. Our team of Harriers have made it out of the Busy Bean Cafe, leaving behind them a devastation. We have an individual that has been sort of beaten to a pulp but has given out useful exposition information. We've had several doors appear on and off, like some sort of horrific flickering thing. But worst of all, the doctor has left their half-drunk espresso on the counter, and we just can't go back. I'm sorry, gutted.
No.
Those beans, they came from the Dagger Isles of all places. Oh, very hard to come by. The
That'd be a
plan,
good one.
as our Harriers have determined, is that they need to go to the top and end this madness. This, whatever these strangers are, they are clearly connected by some sort of network, but at the head of it is Lord Skurlock. So with their connection to who knows where Skurlock's manor is, they proceed back to Six Towers, and again, just montaging the way through. The devastation is still continuing. There are still fires, there's still debris, there's still crisis, but there's less of it now. And as you move away from you, again, escaping before those more strangers started to appear and overtake places, it takes you some time to get there. Not only because of the destruction and obstacles, but also the for fear. Who is a stranger? Who is someone from Duskvol? And you think back, and I think what's preying on all of your minds, whether or not they'll come back to the story or not, is, well, Lydra. Lydra has dark orbs for eyes, came back through a portal, and as I think someone said as an aside, they've only been away for a few weeks, but they might have been going through doors for millennia.
Oh. What?
Oh,
Oh
Are
no,
they
I
that
forgot the
person?
timey-wimey stuff. I thought they'd only been through one.
Well, you don't
Oh.
know. You don't know. This is the thing. I think it's preying on all of your minds, and I think even the doctor, you sort of go to your pocket and you feel that sort of beaker, and you pull out the sort of
Yeah, Pika.
the jar with the eye in it, the dark orb, which hasn't disintegrated or anything like that, but it is cut off. You deliberately cut it off from the network. There's small things at play here, but right now you know the best way to deal with it, and possibly your extreme way to play with it, is to find Lord Skurlock, kill him.
Yep.
And at least then you can have some time to separate and leave these strangers leaderless for now. Going to Ware, I would like to know when Ware was in the employ of Lord Skurlock, where did you go? Were you sort of a person that would go through the kitchens? Like, I'm just thinking, because obviously you were in his employ. What, do you know your secret ways in? I would like you just to set the scene of how you sort of get to the manor house unseen and into the place.
Well, there are like servants. There's the front fancy bit, and then there's all the bits where the servants go through. And I don't think we're that bothered about being unseen, given certainly by servants, given the chaos that's going on. I'd be interested to know whether it looks like. I mean, it's late at night, isn't it? Anyway, so we wouldn't assume there would be many people around. Are people still here? Right, like if we come to, like, is there someone like in the gatehouse, manning the gates? And do they look scary or not? Oh God, is everyone here? Is everyone here already turned? Are like all the turned people somewhere else?
I'd say, I think again, you know your way fully through. So you've been able to go through your unseen, and I'm using a little bit of like what you rolled previously as well. You're used to, as you get further out from the areas of the zones of devastation, there's less debris here, and certainly towards where you are in Six Towers. You're looking around, there doesn't seem to be people out. You think what people have done have sort of sheltered themselves away until some sort of light comes, until they hear something from the Bluecoats or anything like that. And as you proceed to go up towards where Scott's manor is, you can see the gates are open. There doesn't seem to be anyone in the gatehouse. And as you see, like, beautiful trimmed lawns and those very precise looking geometric shaped trees that he was so keen on, it's dark. There's no sounds of like the peacocks that he'd have in the garden, and it's almost eerie as you make it up like the gravel path, and you see an autopod. Those sort of brand new sort of like automobiles. Like everything else in Duskvol has always been horse drawn, or sorry, goat drawn, because we use goats in this world. And it's crystal and clean. This beautiful sort of car. Again, it's wild to see the shimmeriness of it. Until you sort of go to one side and you see that someone has slashed the tires completely.
Oh.
As you start to look through the windows, again, taking a moment to pause, there doesn't seem to be any sights or sounds currently. Obviously, if you want to look more, maybe we'll do a roll for it. But the thing you notice most of all is that the front doors are open.
We just go.
I just think we don't even know if he's here. We've got no time to faff around. I think I'm gonna just walk in, and I think I'm gonna like call out for Petra.
Okay.
Be like, basically, who's here? But Petra.
I'll hang
Stop.
back and kind of hold Cuff and the doctor back and let Ware go in, because we don't know what's this place at all.
Open the
and
door
maybe
to
we
the
can
the
sneak behind them or
kitchens. I'm looking for servants, basically.
Sure. You make a quick work of it again, because you know where the servants would usually hang out and stuff like that. No one in the kitchens, no one even in the servants' sort of like little lounge they have. You go up maybe to some of the bed chambers and stuff, like you race up the servant staircase, and you don't see anything. Or like what you do see is like not devastation, but like clearly people were packing in a rush, and you think maybe those people who were here saw the ship falling from the sky and has made their way out to shelter, to be with their loved ones. A lot of people on the premises wouldn't, they wouldn't be with family and stuff. They'd probably travel in.
Yeah.
But you shout, Petra. You shout her name, and after a few minutes, you hear, Alistair.
Oh.
And it's coming from the what's the word for it? Not the grand lounge, but almost like a ballroom type thing, which you would know where Lord Skurlock's study. There you go. That's what it is.
I'll run in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You rush open the doors, and you see like a small fire in what would be the normal sort of fireplace there, and you can see what looks to be Petra just by the fire, like with her gloves. You see her parasol to one side. She looks up, and she looks awful. You can see she's been crying. Her hair, that's usually done up in a beautiful sort of bun, is sort of spooled out. She's, Alice, Alice.
No, listen. No, I don't care. Have you? It's Lord Skurlock here. Is he here? Is he in?
Alistair, I've done something so bad.
Oh, we need to know where he is. We need to know where he is for like important reasons.
Alistair, please.
What?
And she looks past you at this point at the chair.
Oh, I should never run past a high-backed chair, eh? If there's one thing.
Could swivel at any moment.
I will, tense up suddenly, knowing what I'm going to see before I turn, and then look.
You see the form of Lord Skurlock in the chair, his eyes looking at you again, those crisp, steely blue eyes, and a horrid little smirk. You did finally come for our meeting after all.
Yep, I'm just here for a meeting about Petra, you should go. This is like a private business meeting stuff.
I've actually asked Petra to stay. A little bit of insurance, you see, because if your friends come in here, I will kill her right now. I just want a one-on-one with you, my dear. Is it where?
As far as I know, they're still outside the house.
Let's this is where again we'll do a little bit of let's talk. What are the other three doing at this point? Again, don't forget we have flashbacks. We can do all sorts. So I was going to cut on. Like, you would have heard Ware shouting for Petra, and then hearing him move to a room, for sure. And you probably can easily identify which room it is from where you are if you're outside. So just
I think I would have tried to get us to stealth, like around or even in, but like just it be in various places, like to appear from various locations. So maybe like I'm not very stealthy, but maybe just sort of in the shadows inside, maybe in the house somewhere.
Again, what we'll say, we're not going to roll that like now. Again, it's just you do that now, and then if you go and do something, we'll see the success of that.
So yeah,
so that's fine.
I'd
Again,
like
it's
to be
almost
outside the door to the room.
Yeah, that's fine. Again, if you do something, that's when we will do the success because you're already there. I think, and you probably would if you're outside the door of the room, and depending on where everyone else is, you'd probably hear that conversation as well. I'll give you that info as well. Just checking with the doctor and Cuff, is that you be similar round the room?
Absolutely, yeah. Getting ready, but hopefully not being needed, but like being ready just in case.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
A little bit
So, yeah,
one of that stuff like Wolverine claws of like syringes and shit, but I feel like that's probably
Well, I think that makes sense. The doctor, you've got spark on you. Maybe again, from your brief bit of research, you're like, well, we don't know, like an overdose. You've not seen it yourself, so maybe giving it to something like this
might be the last bit of the puzzle of my research project.
Going back inside the room at this point, Sherlock is sort of like leans back in his chair towards you, where
I will like step sideways so I'm in between him and Petra, but just that like small act, but everything else about like Ware's body language is just completely sort of failing to look defiant in any way.
You see, Alistair, I don't know what it is, but this old codger has something about you. You hurt them, didn't you?
Oh,
You stole from them, didn't you?
that was nothing. That wasn't really important. That was
Wasn't really important. Why? He's been fixated on you since the beginning. He refuses to release control until you are right where he wants you. He points to a canvas. Not canvas, sorry. What do they call it? Like a painter's sort of like sheet. No, a sheet over a painter's sheet sort of thing.
right.
A dusk.
Yeah, sorry, I said canvas. Yeah, exactly. And again, almost reminiscent of a previous scene we saw with One Sugar. The sort of sheet seems to be over like a square, a freestanding rectangle. You, whether you've known it or not, have caused a thorn in our side, little Alistair. So you have a choice right now. Go through the door, or we kill everyone and everything you love. Join us, or we'll make the Harriers join us. You will be the last person to see it happen.
What are you doing? Are you you want to like take over the city or something, or bring down the lightning wall, or
Much bigger than that. With the lightning wall gone, this place becomes obsolete. Another scratched mark in history, strengthening our position. We leave behind the potential to be eaten by the Eater of Worlds. That should satisfy them for a decade or two, maybe a millennia. It's hard to tell. As a bit of a sticky tummy.
Ooh, sounds a bit like we're all quite dead in that scenario anyway.
It's a choice, my dear Alistair. Whether you put yourself first or you put your friends first. That's all it's been, hasn't it? Oh, Alistair. I'm just a cheeky chappy that likes my food. I am not serious. Until times come and you run away, you hide!
You saying I could like save the world and be heroic and then you just go away and not, you know, kill everyone? Is that what you're saying?
They will be spared.
All right.
And you can hear crying behind you as Petra's like, please, Alistair, don't. He doesn't mean it. He forces people to open the door and they don't come back. Please, Alistair, don't. Please. Please, I did it. I should go through the door. Master, please, I should go through the door. Please. I don't want to do this.
Oh. Well, why don't you tell everyone to go away and you know then I'll know that you mean it and you're not just trying to trick me.
Tell everyone to go away.
Yeah, you know, like make them leave with your mind powers.
I think I would like you to do for me either. I think this is I would say a sway or a consult role. You're trying to convince the Sherlock, who you are familiar with.
I shall sway.
You'll also sway. Okay.
I shall sway.
Dance with me.
I think this is sure, because I know you've got a special ability to this. This is a desperate
It's
situation.
kind of desperate, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah. So you're gonna get your extra D6 for that, and you got your XP as well. Is there anything else you would like to do that you can think of? It's okay if not.
no, I don't. I mean, I don't. Yeah, this isn't a planned thing. This is just yeah, very much.
okay.
And then you know, it's not an ideal scenario. I am trying to convince him that I will do what he wants if he does it
removes the
first,
forces. Basically, if he backs
essentially.
Down, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's that sort of I'll do
you
it.
first,
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you first. No, you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. The consequence, I'll say, so you need a 6. The consequence of this is that he's going to force Petra through the door before you.
Oh, don't want that either.
She's been through already.
I don't. Is that what she said? I don't know if she has.
She said she had, right? She said
She tried to admit it behind you, but whether or not Ware would have been aware of it. Like obviously it's player knowledge for sure.
Yeah.
it's player knowledge.
I'm gonna roll. I can't have the clever thing where I can show you what I've rolled. Wait a sec, I'll roll in my glasses case.
Okay.
Then I can
Do you know
it.
how to dice tray, Shams?
Somewhere, not up
No, okay,
here,
don't do it
no.
now. Don't find it now, but like, yeah.
So RP Geeks needs. We're gonna do a Kickstarter for Shamini to
Yeah,
get
to
her
get a dice tray.
Yeah.
I've got a spare one. Like,
We really need your help. They're rolling poorly.
We need
so we really
£5.
need. It's okay. 3. Okay. Lord.
I don't like this dice
a
tray,
2.
Shamini. I
That's
do
a
not like
2.
this dice tray.
Oh God. That's a 1.
Oh,
Okay,
yikes!
We're not using the glasses case as a dice tray anymore.
Sponsored by Ray-Ban. Thank you.
Sponsored by Ray-Ban. Hey, Ray-Bans, if you do want to sponsor us, we will take that money. Actually,
We just all
100%.
wear sunglasses. That's it. Like.
I would do it.
I would do it. It'd be fine. You
I
don't
would
need
do it.
eyes.
So, what I would say is that Sherlock is angered by this, and almost inhumanly fast, he's up on his feet, and he's grabbed Petra, and he's going towards the door. Now, you can push yourself but you have to, because of your daredevil thing, you have to take a -1d6 to avoid or reduce the consequence, which means that you will. I won't say that reducing that consequence means you have a moment to do something before she's thrown through the door, if that is what you'd like to do. The pushing yourself for this is going to be in resolve, so those dots in resolve before the line. However many of those dots is what you'd roll, and you take the highest.
-1 for my ability.
Correct, because of your ability, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm. Yeah, I mean, so what I'm gonna do is just be trying to grab her, and just be trying to physically
pull her back,
intervene.
Yeah. With
my weedy little arms. In this like one moment that I've got left. So I've got 2. Sure. So yeah, what do I need?
So this is going to reduce stress. So you're going to take stress anyway. So what will happen is that whatever you say will happen. It's the amount of stress that you're going to take from this. So the higher you get, the less stress you take. So it just gives you that opportunity. So
okay. 2 2s.
You take 3 stress as a result, but you grab her, you pull her, and she slips from the grip. Again, she's clearly. As you pull her back, you realise she's quite wet, from water. she's bursting into tears, like oh! And you realise that she's dripping a little bit, and you think that she's been in the river. You think she might have tried to jump into the river after the. Whatever it is has happened.
Oh god, okay.
You pull her and you pull her behind you. Well, I'm going to say I'm going to flash to the doll and cuff at this moment. You are hearing this conversation. I'm not going to say you're out of it, but again, is there anything you guys would like to do?
I think
there's definitely been a moment where yeah.
The doll will look at Cuff and slowly pull out a candle and just sort of hold it in front of her and just sort of mouth, "Is this really what you want?" Oh shit. As Cuff nods, I will attempt to, I guess, fill in the last bit of my ritual.
Oh shit.
And I will attempt to remove Cuff's soul.
Okay. So that's good. We're going to do that attune roll. Normally, I think it would be a desperate situation. But I'm taking into it does, but I'm going to take into the fact that you have worked on this. Like this is what you've been, and you have been practicing on unwilling subjects. This is the first time you're doing it to your friend. It's the first time you're doing it, so it's standard as a result. So you're not going to have it's not, so you can get a 4, 5, 6. It's going to be that mixed result. Okay. What have you got in attune just now?
I have 3 in attune.
Okay.
Should I do it one at a time?
Sorry. You can do it one at a time. I'm just trying to think of the consequence for this. So, because what you're doing, you're trying to remove Cuff's soul from their body to do what? Just to check. To
stop them feeling any kind of remorse or any feelings that, look, the doll knows that souls are bad, and souls are bad for people, because if you don't have a soul, you're basically a demon, and that's the best you can possibly be. And so she is trying to turn Cuff into a demon.
Ah, I see. Yes, interesting. I like it. Okay.
Along with her demon pigeons.
The consequence to this is that you will break Cuff. You will only be able to partially remove the soul, and it'll be painful for them.
Okay.
And they will take on some harm. It will be a level 2. I don't know what I'd call it, but it'll be like out of body experience or something. Yeah, soulless or something.
Okay. 3 dice. First one. I need a 4, 5, or a 6. You said
you need so 4, 5 is a mixed success, so there'll be some stress. So I'll make that
take all the stress. I don't give a shit about stress. That's fine.
Yeah. No, I got that. Okay.
First dice.
That's it.
I don't know if I can tip it enough.
We'll never know.
We'll
It's
never
clearly
know,
a 1.
but can you see it?
We'll never see
We
it. No.
need
Oh, there it is.
specially made dice trays. They're tippable.
Yeah, you know what? You need like
It's a 6. It's a 6.
roll the other 2 to make sure you might get an
Another
edge.
6.
There you go. An edge. Amazing.
Can you see
Look
it?
at that.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
Can
we
you
got
see
we,
it?
we vaguely
see
got
it?
it.
Okay.
We're gonna have to get like
3
light
sixes.
up dice or something.
Oh, so that one's a 3, but that's fine. It has to say 3. But okay.
Yeah.
Camera, please.
Oh my
Beautiful.
god.
2
Amazing.
sixes.
2 6s, amazing.
With,
So yes,
with
just
2, can I suggest that I am able to like capture the soul and maybe at some stage, not now, be able to put it back? Can I?
So yeah, so what I'll quickly just say, because we've only had one other occasion when we've had edges, so I just want to say, so when you roll more than 1 6, you gain an edge, which represents the spark of luck or tenacity. You may spend that edge right away to earn a greater effect to your action, so again, yeah, that. Or you can carry it forward to use on a bonus dice on a future roll. If you're in a position to help another teammate, you can spend an edge on their roll. So you can hold it and spend it later
okay.
for someone else's. Or yeah,
I might
It
hold it
succeeds.
for Cuff's attack because it feels related
that's
to that.
That's what I was thinking. So I want you to describe, and obviously Holly as well, you can collaborate on this. How does this ritual work, and how does Cuff take on demonic form?
Let me start it and then I'll throw it to you, Holly, if that's all right. So I think as the doll like lifts up this candle and she sort of looks into it, looks at Cuff, makes the acknowledgement, and the candle lights with the doll's eyes, and you see the cracks in the doll's skin again begin to glow as her mouth drops open and she starts sucking air in. And I think slowly Cuff's eyes flare for a second as well. And I think in that moment, Cuff, you flash back to the first time you met the doll, her coming in to the police precinct and trying to find someone who was supposedly meddling with the demonic. She thought it was you, and I think in that moment you maybe feel a part of the doll's real intentions. She was trying to find that person because she wanted to help them, and when you misinterpreted the doll's meaning and decided to leave, the doll went along with it in order to protect herself, but then you protected her, and her loyalty shifted to you. And I think you maybe feel that connection in that moment. But take it away.
I think there'll be, as Cuff's kind of experiencing that, there'll be moments of kind of confusion and upset, but ultimately understanding that both of these individuals were essentially fighting for a team that did wrong and then found a kind of protective friendship in each other where they could be separate from that. There'll be a real sense of peace in that for Cuff. And as their soul leaves their body, one of the last things they'll do is just smile, and you can see that their whole body just relaxes for the first time since we've seen them, where their shoulders have always been a little bit tight. They've always been kind of slightly prepped to pounce. For just a moment, you can see that their body entirely relaxes and they look so peaceful they could be sleeping. And it's at that moment that their eyes flash open with white light.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly they have this kind of strength and tenacity that we haven't seen in them before, and is not entirely theirs at all.
The doll will just look and say, Cuff, are you okay?
Let's get to work.
The doll will just pull a gun and be like, hell yeah.
What a
And
spin-off show
I
we've
think
just
at that point
experienced here.
they would kick the door down and go in. But
Damn right,
feel
yeah.
free to go on with where if there's something.
I think this is a perfect moment because let's see how we can end this scene. So just to describe it, we have again from these two jumping in, the doll and the demon. What a great D&D combination
Doll
there.
and the demon.
Yeah, you burst in and you see again this huge sort of study area with books and tomes. You see the fireplace that is slightly up smaller. You see Petra, and you see Ware standing in front of Petra and this horrific Lord Skurlock in front of a door. And you can see that it looks like he's reaching out towards Ware right now.
I'm gonna run as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see Skurlock. I'm going to, I think, attempt to. I'm going to essentially rugby tackle Skurlock
Mm-hmm.
and try and get them flat on the floor.
Okay. This is a wreck. I'm going to give you an additional die because of the ritual.
The demon thing.
You've got the edge
Demon
as
thing.
well, remember, if you want it.
You've got the edge. If you fail, you don't rugby tackle Skurlock to the door. You rugby tackle them into the door and go through the door with them.
Okay, just re-explain to me how I can use the edge if I need to. Do I need to use the edge? Do I need to decide
Use
to use
the
the edge
edge.
now?
Just use it now, I don't care.
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use the edge.
So you can spend the edge right away to add a greater effect to your roll, or you carry forward use it as a bonus die on a future roll. I think you could either, I'm going to give it to you, you can choose what you want it to be. So whether it's a greater effect that you don't go through the door, that would be it, or just having a bonus die. It's up to you.
I think let's keep this. Go on.
Add something. I don't know if this is adding too much complication that could potentially help. Is that could I say that in my trying to grab Petra, I have positioned myself between Petra and the door, and I'm thus in front of the door.
I'd say let's do we'll do a flashback. We'll do the flashback. Yeah, I think so. You maybe let's flashback. I'll give you 2 stress for this. Sorry, where I was like, Cuff, no, Shamini, no, names. I think you could do that sort of this quick flashback where you go, and you could say something to Skurlock as you position yourself in front of the door. But I'll have it so that you are.
I think it's very much in the moment. I think it was in the moment of trying to grab her, and it's immediately followed by this moment of the people.
Yes, it's everything happening at once. Absolutely. So yes. So in that case, then let's change it a little bit. So we've got you've got all your dice for the skirmish, including the edge if you'd like to use it as a bonus die, whatever. The consequences. Not only will you, if you fail, would you tackle yourself and Skurlock through the door, you'll also tackle Ware through the door as well.
Okay. And what is a fail here? Anything but a 6? Or is it...
I think so. Unfortunately, it's a desperate situation.
It is desperate, isn't it? All
So
right.
mark your XP.
Yeah.
Mark your XP, I guess.
I haven't marked XP today. I'm not sure Cuff's going to get the chance. So many desperate rolls. Right. I'm going to do this all 3 at the same time.
Okay.
3 dice. We just need a 6. Here we go. I'm going to show you what
You've got the edge as well.
I used the edge.
That's including the edge. Okay. What did you... Is that 1, 2, 2? Is that 1, 2, 2? That doesn't even add up to 6. It doesn't even add up to 6.
Oy.
Would you like to push yourself?
Yes, please.
Don't
I would love
leave
to
me
push
on my
myself. I would love to push myself. Yes, please.
Well, I'll tell you. Pushing yourself will give you stress. One of you is going through the door, either yourself or Ware. Along with Skurlock.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay.
Better than all 3 of us. And then we'll get
All
rid
right.
of Skurlock.
Okay.
I roll for the amount of prowess.
Yep. Sorry.
3 dice.
The cat just licked my leg, and I genuinely jumped so hard. I was like, "Fucking hell, what was that?" Yes, it's a prowess.
Okay.
So all that
Alright.
dice, higher numbers are better.
Let's go for it. I've got a 5 and 2 1s.
Okay. You take. I think it's. Sorry. I was on something else. Sorry. There we go. I think it was 2 stress. Let me just double check that. Pushing yourself. There you go. Yes, 2 stress you take.
Okay. I'm on 8 stress, but that's fine.
That makes sense. I need you to describe who goes through the door.
Oh God. Ooh. Okay, I think this is the most free Cuff has felt for a very long time. And there's this kind of new incredible energy they've got surging through them that makes them feel so free. And yes, they're doing this with violence and force, and that's definitely part of it, but there's this kind of playfulness and excitement mixed in. And as they race down the room, they feel like a fireball just taking off to the point where they don't quite realize how much momentum they're carrying. And as they tackle Skurlock to the ground, they both keep tumbling. And there's a delight as Cuff manages to push Skurlock through until the moment of panic where they realize they themselves are also following through, and they both tumble through the door.
The silence is deafening, as what was like a whirlwind of noise disappears as Cuff and Lord Skurlock vanish through the door. All that's left is the sound of crackling embers in the fireplace and the sounds of sobbing from Petra.
Where did they go? Where are they?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Is the door still there?
Mm-hmm.
Can I open it?
It's currently, sorry, I never described it as it's sort of it's open. It's like the door is open on the other side. So yeah.
I'm gonna have the candle in my hand. And is the flame still going on the candle?
Yes.
I'll look at where. We have to get Cuff back.
Oh, we can't hear you, Shamini.
know what's through there.
Cuff's through there.
I don't know if they can come back.
I did this to them.
But if they can come back, then Lord Skurlock can come back, right?
We can kill Lord Skurlock. Look how easy it is to kill people, and I'll shoot Petra in the head.
Take a little bit of stress, Emily.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not going to make you roll for it.
Still getting
Yeah, just take a little, sprinkle that on. A little bit of sprinkles. Yeah, easy enough.
See? Simple.
The crying stops.
Where screams, but doesn't move. And I think I would like to push Primula through the door and try not to go myself.
Oh, excellent. Primula, do you want to go through the door?
Yeah, I think she does.
I guess so. Are you?
Yeah,
She kind of
I
does,
think
doesn't she?
she does. Yeah, she'll go.
She wants me to go with her, but
Yeah,
that's
that's fine.
where we differ.
Yeah.
Tell you what. How about this then? We'll make it so that is what you. We'll still do like a dexterity thing for you, the finesse thing. You're trying to wheedle away. So you like
See if I do it
pushing and going.
coolly. Wait,
Yeah,
who's pushing? Me.
I think from what it sounds like, Ware is pushing you through the door. You're sort of grabbing on. I don't want to necessarily do opposed checks or anything like that. Sure. I think this is going to be a Ware thing. I think because you're trying to avoid going through it. So I feel like this is a finesse thing. You're trying to wheedle your way out.
Because I'm not rolling to push. I'm rolling to evade the grab.
Yeah, that's exactly. So what have you got in finesse? That's the one I'm suggesting for you to use. 2? That's okay.
That's my 2.
bad.
Yeah. Is it desperate?
I think it is. Yeah. You don't want to go through the door, do you?
3.
Yeah. Mark that XP.
We got so much XP this session.
I know. Well. Okay. Yeah. If obviously the consequences if you fail, you're still going to go through the door. But I thought that was obvious, but I didn't need to say it.
Just be
come on
specific.
with me.
We're going through the freaking door.
6 is what you need. So best of luck.
1, 5, 3.
Let's go! We're going on
We're
an
going through the
adventure!
door. Yay!
So I'm going to take this from the perspective of the good doctor who's hung back a little bit as they sort of burst into the room and they see the sight of the doll and Ware fighting. They see Primula dead. Not Primula. Sorry, Petra. There's too many L's in this game and there's too many P's.
Sorry.
Petra dead on the ground. You see the pool of blood around, which is you see it sort of soaking up with her parasol where it was there. And you can see the doctor sort of looks and sees a scuffle as Ware, with all of your might, you push against the doll to go through the door. And it's that hate, that sort of, like, you know, it's all boiled up. Maybe years of service has done this to you. And this person has just destroyed something that you loved. And weirdly, you think back to how that stranger was smiling and baiting you a little bit. It's similar to what Primula's doing now, as she just falls with it. And before you know it, you can't escape, and you tumble through the door as well. We're not going to do downtime.
Oh, no, I wanted to mark off some stress, Fiona. I wanted to...
I'm quite stressed though.
But what's happening with the police? I was so close to
God.
No, it's totally fine. We are in another place now.
worked it out.
You nearly worked it out. I would say, I appreciate Lou isn't with us just now, but presumably they can give us their own recap maybe in the Discord or something about what the doctor would have done. But what I will say, as days, the weeks go by, the invasion of the strangers, as it starts to become colloquially known as, they get rounded up. They get found out. It's very hard to hide because they can't see anything. They can't. The head has been disconnected from the body, and people start to talk about it in terms of folklore, in terms of just a mass hallucination, and soon it gets sort of swept away under the guise of a big attack had happened on Duskvol, and particularly over the Emperor, the Emperor's unity agenda, and gets swept up in that. Most importantly, though, no more reoccurrences of doors. The fractures, and if the doctor tries to work with people, doesn't get very far. People don't remember, or people refuse to talk about it. Lydra disappears. For the rest of you, though. Let's go to a bit of my notes at the end going, optional. Read out what I put here.
Optional if they're twats and go through the door.
They all just start flinging themselves through doors.
You, and I say this happens to you all individually. So when you come to, you're not together. But the same thing happens each time. If I find, where's my notes? Oh no, I've lost them. We'll get there. That's because I didn't put it with my opening. There we go. Here we go. You come to, and as you sort of like, again, the first thing you notice is that it's bright. It's like a garish light. And as your eyes come to focus, you're like, what is this? It's strange. You can feel it across your face. It almost feels warm. And as you sit up from wherever you are, like, it seems like you look around and it seems to be the same place. And you recognize the manor, like it's the sort of the ballroom, etc. Except now there's like what looks like red velvet rope curtains around places, and you look up and there's like the pictures that were sort of there, they're now sort of behind these velvet ropes, and there's like little bits of placards with writing on them, which you're finding, again, it's hard to see, but it's so bright in here. Incredibly bright. And as maybe you stumble to a window or even go to the door, the place, it's clean, but it feels the same but not the same. And as you step out, for the first time in all of your lives, you step out into bright sunlight. Duskvol is a dark place, and you look up and you see, it hurts your eyes, you look away and you're like, is that the sun? And you look up and it's like, what's that? The sky, it's blue.
It's
You look up and you see Duskvol, but it's not Duskvol. It's like the same structure and the same bits, but it's different. It's as if it's changed. It's as if it's been remade in some way. You see white marble buildings. You see those autopods, but there's so many more of them, like little ants going around places. You see, like, it looks like two stuck on top of each other, like a red kind of, like, all in one. You hear
Bus.
the sounds of music, and you turn and you see those phonographs being played almost on repeat, and you look up and you see the grills again, but they're coming out of the walls, and you're suddenly, where are you? This is not Duskvol that you know. And then you hear almost like a voice, loud, sort of like a siren go off. And you hear a woman's voice, and as you look up, the sky crackles and shifts as a huge face of a lady appears.
No. She's getting a phone.
Blue time is over. Please remain calm. Today's Blue Time event has ended. We hope you enjoyed your scheduled hours of light, courtesy of the Blue Array. You may experience some slight nausea and dizziness momentarily as the power sequence downs finalizes, but such side effects are only temporary. Please remain calm. The next scheduled allotment of Blue Time will commence in 14 hours, 30 minutes and 11 seconds. Thank you for your continued support and use of Blue Time, courtesy of the Immortal Emperor's Divine Will. For Blue Time, forever. Please remain calm and carry on. The sky shifts and crackles and turns almost these psychedelic hues as the bubble, the dome that surrounds Duskvol, powered by the lightning barriers here in this world, switch and change, and you see a horrific landscape. Before, the lightning barriers kept you safe and you didn't see what was on the outside, but now you do. Just a dead land in the middle of this oasis of green and light and tourists. Tourists everywhere. And as we shift, and we head up to the sky, where we see this new version of Duskvol, we see the timeline again. Duskvol, 845 AC. And as the cogs sort of shift, the time sort of turns and changes to Duskvol, 1968. Condenses down to Blades 68. And that is where we're going to end this story of Blood and Fog, a Blades in the Dark story. Well done, team.
Well done,
Whoa.
Fiona.
Well done, Fiona. That was beautiful.
I didn't. No. That
So is that
guys?
Immediate questions? Is that
What?
is that how? Is that the like canon way of Blade 68 being brought into the world? Into like
It's one of the there's no such thing as canon,
Sure.
but it is a way that you can get people to go and play the new Blade 68. The
That's-
idea of the strangers and portals. Yeah.
wow,
Absolutely.
that's so cool.
I love it.
That was awesome.
Just
Just
not
don't think about it.
dead.
Just
We're
don't
not
think about the story
dead.
too hard, because I'm sure there's other timey wimey stuff I'll have to explain away. But yes,
Timey wimey is the doors were timey wimey, so I think you're fine.
Yeah. Well
Oh
done,
my
team.
God.
Well done. You
I got
guys did so
intense.
well.
I liked
Unlike me.
I liked that.
Well done.
very
Like it
nice.
when I shot your friend.
I
Sorry,
did
Shamini.
like that when you shot my
That
friend.
shook
was,
me.
That was a
That
good...
shook me so hard. I was like, yeah, you're gonna do that. I'm not gonna
I
make you
was
roll
like,
for it.
She does not give a shit.
Yeah.
And,
I was like, oh no.
yeah.
Of course, it makes perfect sense. Of course it does.
But
It was beautiful.
yes, Well done, team. Honestly, again, as we sort of said throughout this whole series, we're learning the system from you, and I think you guys did so well and learning to roll with the punches to player. And I hope this is the slight little slice of Duskvol, and then showing a different setting at the end has intrigued you enough to go and have at least a look at it. I will absolutely recommend the play test for Blade 68 because there's some really interesting stuff there. All the little 60s references I was trying to put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got him.
We definitely got a Twiggy at one point. I was like, that's
Yeah.
Twiggy.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, please go check them out. The playtest is still available and stuff. But yeah, that was Blades in Dark using deep cuts.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have asked for a better team. Honestly, well done, team, for introducing
you,
hopefully
Fiona.
more people to play as playing different stories.
Where can people? It's Evil Hat, isn't it? That's the
Evil Hat Productions is the ones that are producing it. I will say, at time of recording, there's going to be a Kickstarter for the physical version of Deep Cuts. So if you've got a physical version of the core book and you want a physical version of the Deep Cuts, there'll be a Kickstarter. But equally, just go buy the itch.io page, like the PDF there, because you can get that, and it's roughly about £10. Nice. I will say, as we have learnt, you need the core rule book as well as this, because it doesn't make sense otherwise, and it's a bit hard. You're like, what the hell is it talking about? So you do need to read both of them, I would suggest, for it. But yeah, if you want to go support Evil Hat, like, again, I think what I love about, again, we're not doing a Ask Me Anything sort of thing, but I think what's cool about it is the world, the different factions. We could have gone so many different places, I think, and these guys said, we want to do these things, and I was like, great, let's get them through there. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Shall we do some quick outros and whatnot, because I appreciate time is ticking away.
Let's do that. Okay, hello everyone. As you might have seen if you're watching live, I've made Nightbot work on YouTube, so you can do an exclamation mark Discord or an exclamation mark to find our Discord, where we will be probably talking about this. We have a spoilers channel, so if you want to talk about the spoilers, go head on over there and we'll be chatting about it. We also have a spoiler free channel. Don't put anything about that in there, thanks, that'd be great. And then you can also join us over on Patreon, and if I do Patreon, hopefully that will also link to that. Nightbot on YouTube takes a little while and it makes me nervous. There it is.
We did it.
And you can join our Patreon where you will get access to some behind the scenes of Blades in the Dark. We have the session zeros of us creating our characters. We have, I believe, a behind the screens where we talk about the story so far that we did at the end of, not last episode, but the episodes before.
No, last episode. It's been 2 weeks. Remember?
Yeah.
Yes,
remember,
of course,
we've had that 2 weeks gap for us.
Yes. So you can get our thoughts sort of more on the system and we had some questions for Fiona. We answered some questions that you guys sent in, which we really appreciate. And yes, and if you do join that, there's a chance you'll get put into the world. Now, we've got have had a new Patreon since last week, so we're gonna or since last time we did this, so we're gonna put Snap Grapple Pop into the Blades in the Dark world. Now, can I suggest that we put them maybe in 1968 rather than in the old one? They're like one of the new. Could they
kind of
be
a win for them, isn't it?
Could Snap Grapple Pop be the person who did the voice
in the sky?
Yeah. They're the voice
Absolutely.
actor for the blue time has ended.
Blue time.
Snap in the sky. I love it. I love it.
So I think that's Snap.
Snap in the
I think
sky
that's
with
a pretty
diamonds.
cool. Snap in the
great.
sky with diamonds. There you
That's
go.
lovely.
Yeah.
But then we have, we do 2 each time, so we'll do another one. So can someone roll me? I don't even know what it'd be now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I know.
7,
I'll go for
Already,
Charles.
but-
9, 10, 11. Do a 12, and then I'll just. There's some people who I know we've done recently, so I'll just skip over them.
Okay. That was a 2.
A 2. So we will go 1, 2. We'll go to Debbie Bridges.
Lovely.
Debbie.
Debbie.
Maybe it's Debbie the barista who
Who we sent home really quick.
who we sent home
And
really
they were
really quick.
fine. I just like it when
Yes.
characters are fine. And
Yeah,
they
Debbie's
get to make
fine.
money
Debbie
out of
made it out.
Yes, that's lovely.
We were like,
gave
look,
them
we're
a-
going to borrow the room. Get out.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like, you know what? I don't need to be
hire.
here. Have the keys. Not my problem.
Yeah.
I didn't.
their
Yeah,
croissants-
safety first.
Are really good. They make really good
chocolate.
croissants.
We totally didn't look
Specifically.
up when we ran out. And I took the
Debbie-
keys and gone
Debbie,
through a
I'm
door.
so sorry.
I'm so sorry. We've really fucked you there. You're going to get in trouble with the manager, but there you go. So-
if the Busy Bean Cafe is still standing after this, there was lots of door activity happening. I think
It was.
So
It wasn't. It was sort of an epicenter, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah. Ooh, my computer's having a little moment. That's fine. Looks good because we're nearly done. So yes, if you would like to join and be put into the worlds that we play in, do head on over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/rpgeeksd&d. We will be putting people into future series that we have coming up. We haven't yet announced our
Always.
future series yet. A little tease for one of the upcoming ones is it will be GM'd by the wonderful Shamini. And I think let's leave it at that for now. The next
so
big
excited.
series.
Yeah.
We've also got some other plans in between. Next week we are back with Blood on the Clock Tower. So come join. I think we're going to play some Saxon Violets because it's my favourite and we haven't played it for a while. So that will be great. We'll be back here. That will be 7 p.m. next week here on YouTube if you're watching live. If you're not watching live, it'll be May 6th at 7 p.m. on YouTube. And if you're watching past then, there'll be a VOD. You can go watch
Oh
that
my
one.
God.
That's so
It's
useful.
worked out.
God, isn't it great? You can follow us all over the internet on our socials at rpgeeksd&d. That's Daddy Norovirus Daddy. And that's a really old RP Geeks joke that I
gonna
just
say.
really enjoy.
The Doll and Demon is what I was going to say.
Doll and Demons. Which
Doll and Demon.
The doll is
Doll
already
and
kind of
demons.
doll is already kind of a demon. So, but that's fine. Demons and demons. And I
Doors and
think,
doors.
is there anything else we should
Doors
be
and doors.
talking about? I don't think there really is at this
I-
stage.
No, but I think I would just allow Holly to do an outro as
yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, Holly's here. Holly's been here for the series.
I've
Hi,
been
Holly.
here.
Thanks for
I've
being
been
here.
here.
Yeah.
I've been here
about
6 times. I'm Holly. I was about to say, and I use she, their pronouns. We've already done that. I'm Holly. I have a channel called Holly Likes Games 13 over on Twitch, and Pokemon Days have started again as of last night, and we're playing Pokemon Emerald, which is like my favorite Pokemon mainline game ever. But I have forgotten most of it. So what you're witnessing, if you
cute.
do come and see those streams, is me intermittently crying as I remember things that were very important to me. But yeah, I stream over there. And yeah, thank you very much for having me, RP Geeks. I've had such a lovely time. I feel so just honoured and grateful to have got to have my first place in the dark game. And thank you for having me. I've had a really lovely time.
We've loved
it's a
having you. Thank you so much
pleasure to have you.
for joining.
I'll quickly mention Lou has had to step away from the stream for now. We hope they're okay. But yes, Lou is on Dice and Them, which is a cool podcast sort of thing, and they do lots of TTRPG stuff in the sphere as well. So you can go follow them. They'll be linked in our Blue Sky stuff. I just wanted to shout out their podcast as well, and obviously we had a wonderful time with them on the show as well. So go check out our
on
wonderful
all
guests.
The socials.
Yeah, brilliant. Oh,
Phenomenal.
well done,
This
team.
has been what a series. We also had Josephine, we should say, seeing as it's the final episode.
Oh,
Shout
I
out to
guess we should
Josephine
talk about
McAdam,
Josephine.
who rocked up to fuck us all over in one episode.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I still haven't quite forgiven them, but that's fine.
No.
I know, that's great.
So you can find them at JCVIM across the internet. They have Twitch and they're in lots of cool stuff. And if you're on the Chaotic Neutral Patreon, me and them did a series that's coming out quite soon. I stepped in very last minute, and I think I'm very bad in it. I can't see it
No
because
one's
I'm
gonna-
not on the Patreon, so I'm not going to look at it.
So somebody else join the Patreon and then tell us how good Emily is. That Emily has to
that's- we
join the
can't
normal
let
as well,
that stand.
patrons. Yeah, absolutely.
I found out I was a last minute replacement for someone, and I was not prepared. But it's great fun, and I
Unprepared
will
Emily,
say, oh my god,
still
it was
great.
such a good story. It was mad, like truly, whoa. But yes. Anyway, that's everybody that we need to talk about. Thank you all for watching and being here. Also, thank you for being here on YouTube if you're here live. This is kind of a little bit of a thick trial that we were doing, and it seems to have done well. We're happy with it. So we're going to be sticking over here rather than the Amazon-owned Twitch, and because this is just a little bit easier for us in terms of uploading. It means we don't have to upload. It just means we trim the VODs, and it just makes everything a little bit simpler. And so if you are, I will say again, if you are subscribed over on Amazon, please cancel it. Don't let us take your money unless you have a Prime subscription, which you wouldn't put anywhere else. In which case, you know what? Fine.
We'll take it.
We'll take
Yeah,
it.
we'll take.
I think I have that. I think my Prime is on ours. But
Oh, so you're doing it?
yeah, I'm doing it. So but like if you are paying money for us over there, please don't. We would much rather you came to the Patreon where you actually get additional content and you get some value for your money rather than just throwing it at us. We'd much rather we gave you things. We like to give you things. Don't just give us money for the sake of it. Why? Who would do that?
I mean, you can always. I will absolutely give you my PayPal.
Sorry,
Please.
sorry, I take it all back. If you would
My
like to send us
co-filers.
some money,
I will never say
anyway,
no.
We'll stop talking about money now. But thank you everyone who supports us in any way, whether that's just following or if you're a patron or
Sharing.
whatever. But yeah, we really appreciate it. I'm rambling again, so we'll end it. Thank you all so much, Holly. Thank you so much for being here.
It's
Thank
such
you,
a
Holly.
pleasure.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Josephine. Love you all. And we'll see you next week for some Clock Tower. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.